Probably one of the best rivalries in the city when it comes to the football field. Great cut up the middle. He's got some space. Slips a couple tackles. Rodriguez to the pylon for the touchdown.
Excellent pass, but just as good a catch.
Joel Pastrana will not be caught.
Stopped at the 3, kept on churning, and finally got into the end zone.
Lambert breaks free. Jonathan Lambert up the middle. He's going to win the game. Throwing it up to Exelholm. What a catch.
We've seen some amazing games, but that was
one of the best we've seen in a long time. Hello, everybody. Welcome to White Stadium in Jamaica Plain as we bring you Week 1 coverage of the 2017 Boston Public High School football season. As tonight, the Cathedral Panthers take on the Latin Academy Dragons. Hello, everybody. I'm Pat Flaherty, joined by my partner, as always, Alan Platt. Alan, fantastic time of the year. Week 1 in the high school football season, and we get to start it off here at White Stadium with 2 playoff teams from a year ago, the Cathedral Panthers and the Latin Academy Dragons. This should be a fun one here tonight.
Should be a fun one because there are some uncertainties on both sides. Both schools, both teams clearly lost some key players to graduation, as happens in high school every single year. But big chances for some underclassmen who played some last year. Now they step into the major positions, and I think that it's a matter of both coaches hoping that those younger players can actually relax, play their game, and really come through for the teams.
Without question, one player who was a junior last year, now coming into his senior season. If you know anything about Massachusetts high school football, you probably know the name Khalil Blair of Cathedral. He had a phenomenal year last year, Division IV Player of the Year.
He just it's hard to describe, and for us, it was funny because we've known Khalil since middle school.
That's right.
Middle school football, middle school basketball,
yep.
Okay, high school basketball, and now, like you said, he really broke on the scene last season as a junior, and one of the best running backs, or all-purpose backs in the entire state.
That's right. He had 31 total touchdowns and over 2,000 all-purpose yards for Cathedral last season. He's going to get the football a lot for the Panthers tonight. Meanwhile, on the other side of the football, you have the Latin Academy Dragons, 8-3 overall last season, made it to the Division 4A sectional finals and actually got to the state semifinals before they were blanked by Millis. But another very good season for a very consistent program, the Latin Academy Dragons.
Oh, yeah, they're very good. But the key thing for their coaching staff is they've lost their quarterback, who was their starting quarterback for 3 seasons, Tian. And that's always a little sketchy when you're putting a newer player in, again, a young player. But Coach Cece has a lot of confidence in his team, and he's not as concerned only because he has a lot of his starters on defense coming back.
That's right.
So for the most part, coaches think, well, if the defense can hold us in the game, we can create some kind of offense.
That's right. One player that's going to be a good weapon for the young quarterback under center tonight for Latin Academy is Devin Harris James. He's our spotlight player tonight. He had a big playoff game last year against O'Brien.
Well, it's clear that after that playoff game, he was going to be one of the key guys for this season. And again, when you're young, you have seniors ahead of you. You have to wait your turn. Hopefully, you practice hard, keep yourself ready. As you can see, good speed, good shiftiness. So he'll be sort of the counter, if you can say that, to Blair from Cathedral.
Without question, is Devin Harris James with 4 catches for 58 yards and 2 receiving touchdowns last year in the playoff game versus O'Brien. So just a very good weapon, especially over the middle for a team like Latin Academy. So we'll take a look at him tonight and see if he can help out that young quarterback. For more on this game, folks, we're now going to go down to our sideline reporter, Channing Curtis, who's got an update for us. Channing, what do you have?
With it being week 1, this is the coach's time to really get a chance to see what their teams are made of. Now, both Latin Academy and Cathedral come into tonight's matchup after losing a ton of key players last season, so adjustments have been key. I got a chance to speak with Cathedral head coach Paul Sobolewski before the game, and he told me that he spent a lot of time getting players adjusted to his often sophisticated spread offense. So it looks like tonight we'll get to see the future of these 2 programs. Pat and Allen, back to you.
Thanks very much, Channing. Of course, when you lose seniors the sort of X's and O's part of it is what you wonder about with the younger players because they just don't have as much experience with it.
And you said inexperience means nervousness, means a lot of adrenaline,
sure,
butterflies, right?
Right.
So you just never know what those first series on the offense will look like. But you got to start the season sometime. So these kids have been practicing for about a couple of weeks for the most part. They really want to get some real competition.
Without question. Cathedral taking on Latin Academy here for week 1 of the BPS High School Football Stadium at White Stadium in Jamaica Plain. Folks, going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have the opening kickoff right here on Game of the Week, right after these words.
Red hat. Oops. Red shirt, blue shirt, yellow shirt. Oops. Yellow pants, red pants, green pants. Oops.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework.
He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his
I
backpack.
can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just gotta
trying as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
We can warn someone when their drink isn't safe.
And disrupt the situation.
We can.
Get someone a cab.
Or walk them home safely.
We can make campuses safer for our friends.
Our roommates.
Our classmates. Our fellow human beings.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can. Intervene.
It's on us.
All of us.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education. What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts. Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Guys, welcome back to White Stadium. We are set to go here as Latin Academy kicking off to Cathedral. And the Cathedral Panthers have a tough time hanging on to the football. Now they field it at the 22-yard line, and John Smith, the freshman, makes his way up to the 31 and make that the 32-yard line. So about an 11-yard return there for the freshman John Smith.
Yeah, it was almost disastrous because Khalil Blair was going after the ball as well as Smith. Smith had a better chance at it, so not only did he get the bouncing ball, but he's able to tack on an 11-yard return.
Starting lineups for the Cathedral Panthers: Mejia, Heaton, Blair, as we talked about in the open, Smith, and Poindexter.
Some good speed in that backfield for Cathedral.
Cathedral now with their opening possession at the 31-yard line. Man in motion, the handoff inside to Khalil Blair, and Blair escapes a couple of tacklers and then makes his way past the 35 up to the 38.
It was interesting for the coin toss, Pat. Latin Academy actually won the toss but deferred, which normally when there's an offensive player, you see a fake handoff, then Blair comes back to the middle. Usually when there's a player like Blair on the opposing offense, you don't necessarily want to give them the ball first, but like I said in the open, Coach Ziza at Latin Academy is far more confident with his defense on the field, so give his offense a chance to get themselves together while the first series goes on.
2nd down and 2 now for the Panthers. The handoff up the gut this time, and it's Heaton with the carry just short of the first down, so it's going to be actually right on the first down marker. We'll see. They did get it, so it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Panthers.
Quarterback Mejia for Cathedral, a junior, is going to be important because they have a lot of, even their spread offense, they have a lot of ball fakes before they make the handoffs. Even in the passing game, they usually fake either 1 or 2 handoffs.
You see Mejia, he played in 3 games at the end of last year. Their starter from last season got hurt in their 2nd-round playoff game. Mejia took over, and Coach Sobolewski liked what he saw. Handoff to Khalil Blair, and Latin Academy drags him down in the backfield.
Yeah, they came right across the line of scrimmage that time. First one there.
That was Chibuzu Ugakpora coming up with the stop.
Watch 44, comes straight across. Got in there low, didn't give Blair a chance to fake it. One of the seniors for Latin Academy. He's also a tight end on offense.
Oshan Ezavbuzia also in on the stop.
Officials just realized the kicking tee's still on the field.
Well, that's a little dangerous. Why don't we get that off there?
Good job to get it off.
Usually get like a middle school kid who just loves running out there to pull it after the kick.
But you can see why Coach Ziza is far more confident with his defense. They play well. Gave up 1 first down, but that last play coming across to stop Blair for a loss.
So after the 2-yard loss, 2nd down and 12 now for the Cathedral Panthers. A handoff up the middle, and once again a nice carry here for Cathedral.
That's Heaton again.
So Heaton's there in between the tackles runner, and he picks up a good chunk there on 2nd down.
Yeah, good second effort because he was hit maybe 3 or 4 yards past the line of scrimmage, broke through that, added a few more yards.
Third down and 5 now for the Panthers. They give it to Khalil Blair. You can see the explosion from Khalil as he's brought down past midfield up to the 44-yard line of Latin Academy.
So like you said, Pat, both these running backs can run inside. The key with Khalil, if he doesn't have any kind of contact at the line of scrimmage, gets any kind of space, as you mentioned, that acceleration. Watch this. He doesn't get touched. So that little sprint right there gets him the yardage he needs, and then he'll finish off going strong. He'd be more of a banger runner. Khalil more of a sort of a scat back.
Now on 1st down, they go to the air. Mejia over the right side. He's got a receiver flag on the play as he finds Blair. This one might be coming back.
The linesman saw something. First pass of the game to Blair. Is that a face mask?
What you have?
No, it's going to be on. There's
an offset. We'll go back.
Yeah, offsetting penalties. Face mask on Latin Academy and an illegal pick on Cathedral. So just do it over. Again, first game, and the best thing about the first games is, for the most part, your team is healthy as far as the coaches are concerned. I mean, unless you had some weird thing happen during the captain's practice or like you have like a week, maybe 10 days, you can actually get together officially and practice. But nothing really heavy until this first opening night.
Yeah, the contact in practice has really gone down, especially with the concussion protocol, like you mentioned. Again, they give it to Blair. Khalil again plows forward, this time up to the 35-yard line. Make that the 36-yard line of Latin Academy.
Again, this time he's protecting the football, has Heaton in front for lead block, and I think he's been hitting the weights because I'm telling you, Khalil is also the smallest player. Bad snap, and he is going to get run over by Latin Academy caught Cathedral in a blitz, and it was a bad snap. So the combination is a big loss for them.
Yeah, about a 7-yard loss
through Mejia, but at the same time, there's a blitz coming anyway, so they were going to have extra pressure.
Yeah, Udak Bora once again getting in there. So it'll be 3rd down and 9 now for Cathedral, and the Panthers want a timeout.
Yeah, again, you want to be sure on these 3rd down plays, because actually Cathedral's in Latin Academy territory. It might be 4-down territory for them. So it's one of those things where you want to make sure you get something on this down. Then you can make the choice if you want to go for the 4th down, if you don't make the first. Yeah, Cathedral, interesting. They've gone through some periods of having a lot of success. About 4 years ago, they beat Madison Park in a Super Bowl game down in.
That's right, at Gillette Stadium.
Yeah, at Gillette Stadium. It was a great game too. It was just one right at the end. So they've had some major success in basketball. I mean, we've gone through that with the BNBL program. We've seen a lot of their players
on the girls' side,
especially. Girls' side mainly, but the boys have also done very well.
Yeah, also, I mean, then last year you have this football team. They went 7-0 in their first playoff game. They beat Essex Tech pretty easily, and then in their second round game, they lost to Millis.
And it was weird because it was like a shootout, which is the kind of game they wanted.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It was one of those games, and too, you had your quarterback, who actually, their starting quarterback, ran for a touchdown and actually broke his collarbone at the end of the run. Sorry, that was against Mystic Valley. So they played Mystic Valley in the second round and ended up losing by 6.
It was like 32-26, something like that. Yeah, that was a. And normally, with last year's team, they welcomed having those high-scoring games.
Without question. There you got Blair lined up in the backfield at the quarterback spot. And he's trying to get his freshman set up there as John Smith now in the slot for the Panthers. Smith now in motion. They fake the handoff. It's Blair, and he's wrapped up in the backfield. Big-time play there for Terrence Butler.
Seems like Butler had that one scouted perfectly because the freshman came across in motion. Watch him come in motion. The freshman's going to come across, fake to the freshman, and Blair, this is normally, see that motion, Cathedral's hoping is going to give a gap for Blair, but that was snuffed out easily. So 4th down, they have, well, like I said, 4-down territory. They have Mejia, the kicker also, though.
Oh, he's going to do a pooch punt, end over end kick. And that's going to roll back to about the 14-yard line. So Cathedral playing field position as they pin back Latin Academy inside their 20.
Yeah, it helps to have your quarterback as your punter because he can just go back in a slightly deeper shotgun formation, still get the punt off. It'll also be interesting for Latin Academy. A lot of sort of unknowns in their offense.
So Latin Academy with their first offensive possession of the season. First play under center for Xavier Ortiz. He hands off over the left side. And
Football
not
came
much
out
going
late.
on there, and they fumble the football, and I think Cathedral did recover.
Let's see if the officials had him down already.
He was down, so
okay.
not a fumble recovery. Let's check out the replay.
You see a simple handoff inside tackle. Spinning as he goes down. Yeah, he was already down.
We actually have a penalty late here, as that was Jonathan Edward with the carry.
Had illegal participation on the white. They had 12 players in the field. First down and 5.
So an illegal substitution, or actually too many men on the field for Cathedral. So that gives Latin Academy a 1st and 5. There you see Ortiz in the quarterback position. English, Harris, James, Izooms, and Fitzgerald are the receivers. You also saw Edward get a carry there on first down. 1st and 5 now for Latin Academy after the Cathedral penalty. And now it's going to be a false start for Latin Academy. They're going to go back 5 yards. This could be 1st and 10 again. So wipe both those penalties out, basically.
All right. Got a false start on the defense. Your left tackle. Left tackle.
So false start on Latin Academy's left tackle. That'll back them up 5 again. So 1st and 10 once again for the Dragons with the ball at the 14-yard line.
Yeah, Patrick Fitzgerald is that main receiver. He was more of a tight end last year, but you can see him split wide.
Ortiz hands off the left side again. Once again, it's Edward who's trying to find the edge. And picks up maybe 5 on the play.
Edward's one of their veterans from last season. Again, simple offense. Nothing fancy yet. You see Edward trying to use that power. Actually, a nice game given the fact that he had a lot of traffic in front of him.
Yeah, it's hard to tell exactly how much he got at this angle, but he got a lot more than it looked like initially. Now on 2nd down, it's Ortiz looking for a throwing lane, and he's going to be wrapped up well behind the line of scrimmage at the 12.
Yeah, while he was rolling out, I was looking downfield. He was trying to get to the main receiver, Patrick Fitzgerald, who was covered one-on-one very well. You see the pressure, and just as he's trying to set himself to throw it, gets swallowed up. It's going to be a loss of like 6.
So it'll be 3rd and 12 now for Latin Academy. Ortiz, once again, looking for a throwing lane to the sideline, a little too high for Ikenna Izooms.
That's that extra sort of adrenaline I'm talking about, because Izooms actually he ran a square out. Wasn't really open, but if the pass hadn't sailed over his head, he might have had a chance for it.
So Latin Academy will look to punt the football here on 4th down. High end over end kick for Latin Academy. Rolls past midfield down to about the 44-yard line. So very good kick for Ryan Wynn. And that helps Latin Academy get out of trouble there, as they were deep in Cathedral territory.
Well, the good thing about
that punt.
Good thing about the kick, it has spin on it. So once it hit the turf, Blair wasn't going to take a chance of trying to corral it. Nice bounce, nice roll.
Yeah, 43-yard net on that punt for Latin Academy.
I was going to say about the quarterback for Latin Academy. We talked about him, Xavier Ortiz. Now he's taken over, like we said, for John Tian, who was a 3-year starter. Ortiz is a small guy, 135 pounds, but he has a decent arm. We saw him zip that pass on 3rd down.
Yeah, Coach Aziza mentioned that. Kind of small in stature, but very good arm strength for a little guy. And it looks like Cathedral's going to call a timeout here on their first possession or their second possession of the first quarter.
Yeah, they only had 10 players in the field.
Week 1 mistakes.
Yeah,
guys, too many guys in the field, not enough guys in the field.
You get excited and you sort of forget, certain guys are in different formations, and like you said, during the course of the season, it'll be automatic. But first time out, excitement, the nervousness, small things. Coaches expect to see that kind of stuff. Total spread offense, 3 receivers down here to the left.
Now on first down, the handoff up the middle. And it's Blair breaking some tackles. Khalil Blair still on his feet. Picks up a couple, but he really had to work hard for him.
I'd say this Ladd Academy defense, they're proving what Coach Ziza is actually hidden. But they're proving what Coach Ziza has said before the game, that he has good confidence in them. There comes Fitzgerald coming up from the safety spot to make a big hit.
So Heaton with the 2-yard pickup. Now it's Smith getting the catch in the backfield, but he's wrapped up for a big loss.
Talk about one-on-one. That's a perfect one-on-one tackle for Latin Academy.
Laurent Tasukbe.
Watch this one. Picture perfect. Comes across, under control, gets low, and takes down the freshman.
Coach Ziza mentioned Tasukbe was one of those players that had to step up defensively. He pointed him out as a defensive leader for this Dragons football team. We saw a nice tackle right there.
Yeah, well, he's a senior, and you're right. You look for your seniors to fill in.
Now on 3rd and 14, Mejia looking to throw, but he is wrapped up for a sack. Latin Academy once again creating the pressure. It's Chibuzo Udukpora again in the backfield.
And the advantage that time, because it was such a long 3rd down play, another blitz. They didn't think Cathedral would try any kind of running play, so they sold out to the blitz and was able to get another sack.
Udukpora's had a really good first quarter here out of the defensive end spot for Latin Academy. I believe that's his 2nd or even 3rd sack here in the first quarter. Now we're under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Cathedral ready to punt the football as they are at their own 36-yard line.
Fitzgerald back to receive for Latin Academy.
Mejia with this time a high spiraling kick. Didn't go too far as it's down to right around the 41-yard line of Latin Academy. So that's where the Dragons will take over. Much better field position for their second possession.
It's almost hard to tell if he was trying to just pooch that or to keep it away from Fitzgerald, because he definitely didn't put a lot of strength into the kick, but no chance for return. It is Ortiz.
There's Ortiz. He didn't even start as the JV quarterback last year, but really has played well in camp, beat out 2 other players for the starting job, and Coach Ziza likes what he sees out of Xavier. Now on first down, they throw it over to Fitzgerald, but he has nowhere to go as he picks up. I think he just got it back to the line of scrimmage on that play.
A lot of coaches use this wide receiver screen to help the quarterback get his first completion. Well covered by Cathedral, though. Well, Cathedral knows that Fitzgerald's the main receiver.
Actually lost 2 yards on the play, and I think that's going to be it here for the first quarter. We'll see if Latin Academy can get a playoff. And they do. Handoff up the middle. And not much going there for Latin Academy. It looked like Devin Harris-James got the carry.
So he's turned into a defensive struggle right now.
And that'll do it for the first quarter here at White Stadium in Week 1 of the 2017 BPS High School football season. Latin Academy 0, Cathedral 0. We're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have the second quarter here on Game of the Week right after these words.
Green hat, red hat, oops. Red shirt, blue shirt, yellow shirt, oops. Yellow pants, red pants, Green pants. Oops.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Welcome back to White Stadium for Game of the Week. No score here between Latin Academy and Cathedral, and just about ready to start the second quarter. Our sideline reporter Channing Curtis has an update for us. Channing, what do you have?
So one of the big things coming into tonight's game that was troubling the Latin Academy Dragons was their offensive line. They lost 4 out of 5 of their players last year. So coming into tonight's game, they have almost an entire new line. Now, Coach Rocco Ziza was working with his line up until right before the game even started. They're making adjustments on the fly. They're doing a lot of new short passes and a lot of new running plays instead of doing the long passes that they had planned on doing. Back to you guys.
Thanks very much, Channing. As she mentioned, Latin Academy turning over that offensive line, especially losing the big left tackle, Brandon Mannion, who is now at St. Anselm's playing football. Now on third down, Ortiz going deep down the right side of the field. Did Fitzgerald catch it?
Yeah, it was interference, plus he made the catch anyway. He had a flag on the play. Let's see if they're going to call a push on Fitzgerald.
We'll see if this one's coming back.
The quarterback's 135 pounds. He zipped that ball about 55 yards right on the money. Now watch, see, in the end, it's hard to say if Fitzgerald, it didn't look like he pushed off. But the cornerback for Cathedral, Hedden, never turned around, and I guess maybe there was some contact. It was hard to see there. That ball was red.
Pass interference on the white. It's a 15-yard penalty and a first down.
Okay, so yes. Yeah, Hedden never turned around, so any kind of contact, but it looked like he caught the ball anyway. I guess not.
Yeah, I think they did call it incomplete, so no completion there. It looked like he did catch it, but they did call it incomplete, so no completion, but a first down for Latin Academy, who now has the football at the Cathedral 45. Dragons now in a spread formation. Again, it's Ortiz back to throw, and he's looking for Harris James, who dropped the football. I think he heard footsteps.
Well, that's the inside screen that a lot of high school teams like to use. We've seen it in Boston a lot, as a matter of fact. But the timing is everything, obviously, and you're right, Pat. He's looking inside before he actually pulled the ball in.
I think Harris James would have beaten that defender, too, if he had just caught the ball. Because a lot of times on that screen, your momentum takes you through.
Right. And it catches. The idea is to catch all the defender coming at you at a weird angle, so you can make your move. You got to catch the ball first.
Second down and 10 now for the Dragons. Ortiz. Dangerous pass over to Harris James. Very close to pass interference. Excuse me, he was looking for Jonathan Edward. But the ball falls incomplete.
Again, this because he's short, had to sort of loft that in the air a little longer than he wanted to.
I think that looked like pass interference to me.
Yeah, it looked like there was some contact beforehand.
The pass interference on the defense.
They did call it, yeah. Okay. Just didn't see the flag in front of the Latin Academy bench.
So once again, 2 pass interference penalties put Latin Academy deep into Cathedral territory. I guess that's a spot foul, so I'm very confused on what just happened.
They didn't walk anything off.
Now on first down, being wrapped up at the line of scrimmage for Latin Academy was Christopher English, the senior running back. You see a lot of seniors on Latin Academy getting some time, but guys who haven't played a lot of varsity.
Exactly. They're not. These are their first minutes. They're playing varsity and good effort. But again, the defensive fronts for both teams have sort of controlled this first quarter and the few minutes here in the second quarter. Defensive backfield, those interference calls have kept Latin Academy's offense going.
Now on 2nd down and 9, handoff over the left side to Edward. And he picks up a couple, maybe 3 on the play.
Again, inside handoff, just trying to get a crease between tackles.
Now on 3rd down, Ortiz looking to the right side. He's got a receiver. Nice. Great catch, but it was broken up by Khalil Blair.
I'd say Blair made the perfect hit because it was, I was just going to say, really good throw and a better catch. But like you said, Blair's contacts knocked the ball out.
Akena Azum's the intended receiver.
He had to jump for it, but once he got hit, ball bounced out.
We saw Azum's during basketball season. Very good sophomore for Latin Academy.
That's right.
Came out for football for the first time this season. You can see he's got good hands and very good athletic ability. Just couldn't haul that one in.
There's a couple of basketball players on the Latin Academy team.
That's right. 4th and 7 now for the Dragons, and
you counting people again?
We'll see.
Yeah, that's right.
That one's on Latin Academy. So Latin Academy with a too many men on the field penalty, so that'll back them up 5. They'll actually give their punter a little more room to work with. So not a costly penalty for Latin Academy, but that's the 3rd too many men on the field penalty we've had in the first half.
Then the worst part is who's going to decide to come off. Who's not supposed to be out there?
And the guy who comes off, it's not always that guy's fault.
That's right. That's right.
Win again back to kick, this time a sidewinder. It's going to bring Blair back to the 10. Blair now reversing field. Khalil Blair looking to get to the sideline.
Trying to get a block.
Here comes Khalil down the sideline, slips a tackle. We got a flag on the play as Blair is brought down.
Yeah, 2 flags.
Right around the 20, make that the 30-yard line.
This is going to come back inside the 20. And that's the thing about a player like Blair. It's exciting. You're trying to reverse his field. You're going to watch the right hand of your screen. You might see the there's a block on the back.
A hold
right there.
or a block in the back.
Block
there.
in the back.
We'll see what it is.
Get the back on the white. It's a 15-yard penalty. It'll be 1st down.
Yeah, that's going to take him back inside the 20-yard line. But again, you can see how exciting Blair is. You talked about all the yards, over 2,000 all-purpose yards last year. You can see why. He just has that good speed and quickness. You know, some players have straight-out speed. Others have shiftiness. He has both.
It's funny, in middle school, Khalil, you often see this too. In the younger ages, the best athlete is often the quarterback.
Oh, well, yeah, definitely.
No matter if they can throw or not. Khalil was the starting quarterback for Timilty High School back in 2013 when they won the middle school championship. He had 4 rushing touchdowns, over 130 yards, and you could just see the type of football player that he could become. So 1st and 10 now for Cathedral at their own 8-yard line. Here with just over 8 minutes left to go in the second quarter. They fake the handoff, and now it's Mejia on the quarterback keeper. Plowing forward. Mejia's got pretty good size.
Yeah, he's just trying to safe play.
It's going to be about a 4 or 5 yard pickup. Did he fumble the football?
I think somebody stole it. So I don't think he ever went down. So the officials are trying to decide if. Now watch Mejia. Just kept the football. Now he got stood up by 2 defenders. The ball came out right there. Yeah. Latin Academy has it. Yes.
And they do give it to Latin Academy. So big play there, time for the Latin Academy defense as they rip the football away. They now have it inside the red zone.
No, that's Cathedral sidelines, like, we call that because it's supposed to be a safe play. Right. And you lose the ball. I mean, he was fighting for yardage, but at the same time, got to tuck that ball in and squeeze it. Especially because both teams have been gang tackling, and it's a lot of energy these first games of the season.
So Latin Academy now with a big-time opportunity with the ball. at the Cathedral 13-yard line on first down. Ortiz going to the back of the end zone. He's got Wynn for a touchdown.
Now,
Ryan Wynn
there was no one,
reception.
There was no one close, but the freshman Smith looked around as if he was expecting help, because he definitely turned. You can't see it from this angle, but by the time you see it, he'll be wide open. And the cornerback, Smith, just never went back to, I think he thought one of the safeties would pick him up.
Wynn did a nice job getting his feet in there as he tiptoed the back of the end zone.
Because the ball was almost overthrown. Good catch, and like you said, you just need 1 foot in bounds for in high school, but they did a good job to make sure. There is again, now see that the cornerback is nowhere in sight because he clearly thinks he has some help up top.
That's the freshman John Smith on the blown coverage. So now Latin Academy looking for the 2-point conversion. Once again, they go with the spread formation. Ortiz rolling to his right.
Option.
Goes to the back of the end zone. Great catch by Fitzgerald, but he doesn't stay in bounds.
Out of bounds. Yeah, on that option, you only have so much space so much time, I should say, because your receivers are going deeper and deeper in the end zone. Right here, he wants to run, but after he's forced to pass it, puts a little too much on it. And even though it's a really nice catch, it's beyond the end line.
So the Latin Academy Dragons capitalize on the Cathedral turnover as they get a 13-yard touchdown pass from Xavier Ortiz to Ryan Wynn. They are now on top 6-0 over the Cathedral Panthers. And that's got to be really a boost of confidence for the quarterback that doesn't have a lot of experience.
But what I like about the sideline for Latin Academy, they're still congratulating the player who made the fumble recovery, Terrence Butler. That's because they realize, okay, we capitalized, just like you said, on the turnover. It was a forced turnover because he literally stole the ball from the quarterback.
Latin Academy now ready to kick off. Back to receive for Cathedral is John Smith along with Rico Warden. And it's fielded by the upback right around the 25-yard line. That's Heaton with a nice cut. Heaton now down the sideline. Here comes Heaton. He's going to take it all the way.
Block.
What a block
Beautiful
by
block.
Cathedral as Heaton walks in for the touchdown. Kamal Heaton.
Talk about speed. We talked about Blair with his speed, but because he was one of the upbacks in the formation, once he broke that first line, and his senior teammate Chris Carmona gave him a block right around the 30-yard line. Now watch on the bottom of your screen. You should see the final. It's right here. Here it is. The final player for Cathedral, Cedric Johnson, who looked like he had a chance to possibly catch him, just get wiped out. And that was a legal block. Just like that, tie game.
Man, how many times have we seen that? A team goes down, scores a touchdown, they're feeling great about themselves, and then the opposing team comes right back.
Doesn't take long. And it's interesting because last year, like we talked in the open about how both these teams made again, like I said, once he hit past that first line, that was it. And Carmona's block just made sure that he wouldn't get caught. Like I was saying, both these teams scored a lot of points last season. So I think for the guys who were on last year's team, they're sort of just waiting for things to start to kick in. But it's going to take some time because a lot of the skill players for both teams have moved on. And like you mentioned, the main lineman on both sides of the ball for Latin Academy is graduated. So it's not automatic. These things, you got to learn how to work together. Offensive line play is especially in high school, it may take a few games. So now Ziza's been around for a while. The Cathedral coach, not as many years, but they're both aware of how this process works. You just hope that these younger players have paid attention to what they've been coaching all along.
So it was Cathedral who called a timeout right before this 2-point conversion. So Cathedral's burned a couple of timeouts so far here in the second quarter.
I think they want to make sure they get the lead.
if you're one of these head coaches where you're trying to replace a lot of seniors from last season, it's got to be heartbreaking when you give up a touchdown on a special teams play.
It's a killer.
Rather than
but like you said,
getting beat down the field.
What really kills you is the momentum swing.
Sure.
I mean, you're feeling good because your offense capitalized, but then 15 seconds later, it's tie game.
Blair now in the shotgun at the quarterback position for Cathedral. And Khalil going to try to take it himself as he's strung outside. And
nothing there.
I'm not sure if that was a broken play or just
no. That was supposed
broken
to be
up.
Supposed to be a sweep because you had the quarterback in there as the lead blocker, but not going anywhere. Cathedral just. Cathedral thing is they're keyed on Blair no matter what. Wherever he goes, he's going to have a shadow. So you got to use some kind of trickery, fake handoff, pitch, screen pass, something like that to get him some open field.
Udakpora once again getting in the backfield. And that's what he's been doing all first half.
So the game stays even.
We're tied up at 6 here at White Stadium. It was 7:28 left to go in the second quarter. Latin Academy capitalizing off of a turnover with a 13-yard touchdown pass. Then the Cathedral Panthers come right back on the Kamal Heeden kick return for a touchdown. That went 75 yards for the TD. So both these teams kind of still finding out their identity here in the first game. It's probably actually going to take a couple of weeks for these teams to figure out exactly what they are.
I would think so because like you said, you're putting in some players, and sometimes even though a number of these underclassmen may have been on last year's team, if they didn't play much, it's totally different. You can watch, you can practice, you can see what you're supposed to do, but until you're out there trying to do it, it's very different.
We get a squib kick here for Cathedral. It's fielded by Latin Academy's Edward, who makes his way up to the 42. So good field position here for Latin Academy as they're pretty close to midfield on their third possession of the ballgame.
Well, I said, Ward, good job to get the moving ball and straight ahead. I tell you, this quarterback's been very impressive with his arm, Xavier Ortiz.
So Ortiz and the Dragons now on first down from their own 42. Handoff over the right side. And not much going there for Latin Academy as it was Oshan Izabuzia with the run there on first down.
Yeah, they're shelling in different backs, Latin Academy, and some of that's like the sort of test out process you talked about in terms of which backs are going to sort of emerge to earn more carries.
So Izabazua with a 1-yard gain on first down. Now on second down over the middle. We'll see if that was intercepted. That was very good coverage by Cathedral.
It's one of those plays that
we got both players fighting for the ball.
Yeah, simultaneous possession usually goes to the offense.
And Wynn does come away with it. So Ryan Wynn doing a nice job wrestling the ball away, it looked like, from the defensive back.
The defensive back came up, and initially it looked like they both had a piece of it. You see, zipped in there. Actually looked like the defender had it first, so you're right. Wynn got it back.
Yeah, Sam Pondexter was thinking
he was trying to run, right? And meanwhile, Wynn stayed with the play and got the ball back.
So no gain on that play. Third down and 9 now for Latin Academy. Dragons looking to continue this drive. Ortiz thought about it. Now over the middle.
Oh, nice.
Got his receiver, Fitzgerald, for a big-time first down in Cathedral territory.
He's showing us how he beat out the other two players for the quarterback job because he stepped up, still had pressure around him. Watch, as he steps up, then throws a dart. Perfect, in between two defenders.
26-yard pickup there for Latin Academy. They're now at the 34-yard line of Cathedral. So Pat Fitzgerald, that big catch. Dragons now on the move on first down. And that time, nowhere to go with it for
I'll tell you one thing. Both these defenses have really taken care of the edges. Haven't seen much going on around at all. Sweeps, the slant plays. See right here. Who's that? Carmona, 32. Takes the edge away and then gets it on the tackle.
So 3-yard loss on the play for Latin Academy. Second down and 12 now for the Dragons. Ortiz looking down the right side.
Ooh,
and that was again close to being pass interference.
Yeah. Well, it was definitely overthrown, so it might
have ruled it
uncatchable. But that looked like some early contact. Watch it's over. Yeah, that was. The receiver turned around to make a play on it, but didn't come close.
Intended receiver was Ikena Azooms. So once again, a third and long for the Dragons.
It seems like the Latin Academy, you mentioned that quarterback competition between three players. I guess all three really worked out this summer hard because to have it turn out this way. Wow, good job again.
Ortiz just gets dropped in the backfield.
Teams, it's like both teams are just on third and long. Forget about the run. Forget about the draw play. Let's just go after the quarterback because he's done a good job eluding the first guy, but Carmona again. Third time we've mentioned his name. He had that big block on the kickoff return touchdown, and now he's had two excellent plays defensively on this series. Playing that right, defensive end spot.
So Ryan Wynn again back to punt for the Dragons. Back to receive is Blair. That one off the side of Wynn's foot. Yeah. I think it's going to be down right around the 27-yard line.
Yeah, see, it appeared he was actually trying to angle it away, but like you said, it's unfortunately for him, it just squibbed off the side of his foot. So, yeah, very, very short kick.
So that punt a net of about 17 yards off the side of his foot.
I mean, you want to keep the ball out of Blair's hands, but you definitely want to have more than 17 yards on a punt like that. Another thing to mention, over the years, we've seen Latin Academy have good size on their offensive and defensive lines. Now, the Cathedral roster doesn't have weights, but looks like they're just as hefty as the kids on the other side for Latin Academy.
Now on first down, it's Mejia back to throw, looking down the right side, and the ball is almost intercepted by Ryan Wynn.
And it was almost caught by a second Cathedral player.
I'm sorry, that was Fitzgerald in coverage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Xavier Hernandez who almost caught it off the deflection.
Yeah, might have put a little too much air under this one because by the time it came down, Fitzgerald had the best chance at it. Hit the turf, and then you had Hernandez trying to catch it on the rebound.
Decent crowd here for Latin Academy.
First week of school.
Still nice out, not cold.
Right, yeah. It's Friday night. Why not?
Second down and 10 now for Cathedral at their own 27-yard line. Mejia this time in trouble again.
Yeah.
And he is wrapped up in the backfield again. Guess who? Udakpora in there.
And sack. I'll tell you, Pat, the impressive part of that, they only had two receivers in the package. So you had 8 players, like there's the back right there helping out. So he couldn't get away from anybody.
Udakpora cleaned it up, but Christopher Figueroa had the initial pressure for the Dragons.
Figueroa beat the center going straight ahead.
A couple of players we haven't quite seen yet for Cathedral are Tito and Tutu Okundaye, who are twin receivers for the Cathedral Panthers. Not out there right now, but interested to see what they bring to the table if they ever get some time out on the field. 3rd and 22 now for Cathedral. They get it to Blair, but he has nowhere to
There's
go.
no room at all.
Latin Academy's defense very stout here in the first half.
Well, the thing was, the way these plays are being designed, it's basically a naked wide receiver screen. But see, in the Catholic League, I really think that those plays against some of the weaker teams are going to work, even though there's no blocking out there because Blair is just such a good athlete. But as Cathedral plays some of the city teams, the defenses are a little more sophisticated.
4th and 14 now for Cathedral. End over end punt. That will be down at the Latin Academy 45. So the Dragons once again with pretty good field position. Just over 2 minutes left to go before halftime. Folks, if you want to follow us on social media, you can certainly search for us on Facebook. Just search for Game of the Week in Facebook here in Boston. A lot of good pictures, videos, a lot of great stuff up there. We do a lot of updates about which games we're going to be covering each week. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW.
So 6-6, but it's been more of a defensive struggle.
Dragons now on first down. They fake the pitch.
Oh,
Ortiz
deep.
going down the middle of the field, and Harris James got twisted around. Ball falls incomplete.
That's one of the only sort of off-target passes we've seen. He's overthrown a few passes, but that one was totally off target. He just didn't, and he had no pressure for once. He had time to set himself and just zipped it down the middle. He's lucky that the freshman Smith actually didn't catch up to it. Smith was more watching the receiver than the ball.
Second down and 10. 2 minutes and 1 second to go before half.
So 2nd and 10 now for Latin Academy after the incomplete pass. And they try the sweep with Wynn, but he's wrapped up. Oh, he escaped some pressure. Wynn then brought down right around the 49-yard line, make that midfield. So a 5-yard pickup on second down for
a
Wynn.
5-yard loss. Good job, because you see him getting grabbed in the backfield, but stayed with it. Broke 2 tackles, tacked on, like you said, a 5-yard gain. Make it a much more manageable 3rd down play. Big difference between 3rd and 5 and 3rd and 15. That's for sure. Yeah, especially the way the defenses have been playing.
So now on 3rd and 5, Ortiz rolling to his right. Again looking downfield. He's got an open Wynn who makes the catch and is drilled, but hangs on right around the 20-yard line. Big time pickup for Latin Academy all the way to the 18.
Again, a breakdown in the pass coverage because Wynn, do you see him? Cornerback trying to make up ground. I'm not sure how. But again, there's a little bit of delay before that throw.
27-yard pickup there from Ortiz to Wynn.
Second time that Cathedral has been victimized by a long pass. Now watch, the ball's in the air. And Wynn with the catch, and cornerback comes back into the play, but again, Wynn able to get behind everyone. So they had to wait for that ball, actually. So the deep passes, well, 2 of them now have really helped Latin Academy, give them their first score, and now it's putting them in excellent position. Got a minute 12 to go.
Yeah, they got a great opportunity now.
Yeah, they have 4 timeouts left, so.
Yeah, that was their first timeout called here in the first half. So they have 4 left. Cathedral with just 2 timeouts remaining. And, you know, when Latin Academy got the ball back with 2 minutes to go, their offense hasn't moved that well. So you're kind of saying maybe we'll see what happens here. Now they have a great chance.
They gave themselves the 2 chances. They've thrown 2 long passes in this series just to see if they can make something happen, and Wynn did.
So 1st and 10 for Latin Academy at the Cathedral 19-yard line. Make that the Cathedral 18-yard line.
Now Wynn's in the slot this time. Let's see how they're going to cover him. Looks like they have Blair on him, actually.
Ortiz.
Inside.
There's that inside play. Harris James with the catch. Nowhere to go as he had to go to his knees for it. We get a flag on the play.
Yeah, there might have been this offside on Cathedral.
If you're Coach Sobolewski for
That's a killer.
Cathedral, you got to look at the penalties
We
right
have
now.
offsides on the white. 32. Okay. Offsides on the white, 1st and 5.
That's the defensive end. He was rushing the quarterback, so trying to get a little head start with an extra step. You're right, Pat. He's right here. He's took the step over the line of scrimmage, trying to get. He already has one stop today, so he was trying to get another one.
Yeah, was that Carmona who went over?
Yep, 32. Okay, now Latin Academy is going to take another timeout. They
Timeout, Latin Academy.
sometimes the coach watches how the kids come out of the huddle. If they don't come out like they know they're all going.
Do you guys realize we have a chance to score here before halftime?
49 seconds, 3 timeouts left.
You know, the clock was running, too, even despite the penalty. The clock was running inside a minute there, so they had to at least stop the clock to preserve, because they have a chance. You know, they're obviously in 4-down territory. They have a chance at 4 plays at least.
They can milk this. Yeah, you're right. With that offside, it's a 1st and 5. So they have even if they don't score right away, they have a chance to get another 1st down. Then they have a chance for another series because they can use their timeouts.
Yep, with 3 left, they can call a timeout after each play if they want.
And the way the quarterback's throwing the football, they want as many shots as possible.
I'm also surprised at how much the Latin Academy receivers are getting behind the defensive back for Cathedral.
The entire half. I mean, a couple of passes have been off target, but they scored the touchdown with a pass.
Ortiz, again, back to throw. They try the shovel pass to Ozabukwe.
Oh, nice run. Wow.
And now we get a flag on the play as he's going towards the pylon as he's brought down inside the 5.
Whatever it was, 2 officials saw it.
Excuse me, that's Odukpora, who caught the shovel pass.
Holding, wow.
That's a big penalty on Latin Academy.
That's too bad because he on his individual effort had the ball would have had the ball inside the 5.
Yeah, it would have been, I think, a 1st down for Latin Academy with the clock stopped.
There is a penalty on the play.
So bring back the Udukpora shovel pass. And you're going to back up Latin Academy from the spot of the foul. So.
Yeah, you're right, Pat. It was very close to a 1st down, but going to walk off 10. That'll take them back to,
I think, the original line of scrimmage. I think it'll be
close
to a 1st and 10.
Yeah.
It's a running play. The run.
So the worst part of that is you lost 12 seconds. I mean, the 5
block
yards.
in the back. On the back.
The pass.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See, the actual yardage, you still, like you said, you're still in scoring position. But now they got to be aware that the clock's running again. It gets started after the ball's been set.
If I'm the Dragons, I take a timeout right now. There you go.
Yeah, again, that's some of the youth you talked about earlier. Some of the inexperience, not realizing that as soon as the ball is set, the clock's going to start running. So they lost an additional 9 seconds.
You mentioned a more experienced team. If they, as the refs are counting down the yardage, that's when, a more experienced quarterback is going to say,
let's get up there.
Let's be ready to go as soon as they spot the football. Let's take a look at that last penalty.
A really good run on the inside sort of shuttle pass. Breaks 1 tackle. There's the hold right there. Oh, yeah. It's too bad, too, because if all you had to do was a little bit of a bump would have given him the same block.
So the holding penalty on Ray Castillo.
Udupora, that was a nice run. Again, another senior. I mean, we talked about inexperience for Latin Academy, but the fact of the matter is they have a lot of seniors.
They do.
They do have a lot of seniors. So I think that Coach Ziz is hoping that as seniors they can combine, okay, you sat on the bench a lot the last 2 seasons, but you've seen what we try to do. You practiced it, so now it's different being out there under the fire. But after a couple of games, I really think that he'll expect these seniors to come through.
They have a few guys, including Udak Pora, who played a lot, but as you know, a tight end didn't catch the football a lot. So now Ortiz with some trouble. He's got a receiver.
Nice catch.
Now inside the 5-yard line, making his way towards the goal line. Looked like that was Christopher English on the catch.
Yeah, he really bailed the quarterback out on that one. He must have yelled for the ball because look at the quarterback running around. There's English. Good job. And
wide open.
Oh, good job. Lowered his shoulders. Stopped at about the 2.
You know, Ortiz always seems to have his head up, though, when he's scrambling.
He does. And I think it's natural for him because he's listed at only 5'7". So he has to sort of move around just to get passing lanes and to be able to see downfield. That one, like I mentioned before, his teammate really helped him out by coming open.
First and goal now for Latin Academy with
backfield.
16 seconds left to go in the half. Over the middle, it's picked off by Cathedral.
Oh, wow. That's a killer.
The worst possible scenario for the Dragons as John Smith, the freshman, picks it off for the Panthers.
He makes up for the touchdown. Well, if it was his fault. I don't even know if the touchdown was his fault, but it's a deflection. As the ball zipped in there, it deflects. Oh, that was
Wynn should have had that.
Yeah. Looked like it hit Wynn's shoulder pad.
Very surprising. Wynn's made a lot of nice catches
I'll tell you,
here in the first half.
I can't remember a quarterback this small who has such a big arm.
Yeah,
I mean, he zipped that in there because it definitely got to Wynn's shoulder pad before he had a chance to try to corral it.
You see Coach Sobolewski trying to figure out exactly what they want to do here with 10 seconds left.
Well,
Latin Academy will get the ball to start the third quarter.
Yeah, they won the toss and they just deferred to the second half. You see Blair at number 2. He might go in there. He might just take a quarterback shotgun snap. Although Khalil can throw the ball. I mean, he's an all-around athlete.
Blair now out of the shotgun. And fake the handoff over the right side. Blair going to be wrapped up again. And I think Cathedral's just going to let this clock go down. And that is going to do it for the first half here at White Stadium as the Cathedral Panthers and Latin Academy Dragons are tied up here at 6 apiece. Very good first half, especially defensively for both these teams. And you saw both these squads really tighten up when things got close to the end zone.
But there were also some exciting offensive plays. I mean, for all the action we had on both sides of the ball, to have only a 6-6 game is pretty amazing. But again, first game of the season, I tell you, this is when the coaches really wish that halftime was twice as long because they got a lot to explain.
Right.
They got a lot to talk about on both sides. The penalties for Cathedral, you mentioned that, real killers. And for Latin Academy, some of the anxiety of trying to get the ball downfield, that last turnover is a
tough one to swallow.
Inside the 5-yard line, end of the half, all you have to do is throw a safe pass. I think he was trying to be safe by zipping it in there, but again, if you put too much on it, you have deflection, interception, tied at 6.
Yeah, if you're the Dragons, you got to look at that as a missed opportunity. They were able to get the ball well inside Cathedral territory, had a chance at a touchdown before the half.
Played it right, used the timeouts to save the time. So, yeah.
Our sideline reporter, Channing Curtis, is with the head coach for the Latin Academy Dragons, Rocco Ziza. So, Channing, take it away.
All right, now, Coach, I know it's the first game, but it's also the first starting game for your new quarterback. Talk to me a little bit about what you tell him before and during the game to keep him so poised.
But again, just believe in yourself, believe in your teammates, and you'll be fine.
And he's doing a lot. He's doing a lot. I mean, you haven't just had him doing like those little short shuffle plays anymore. You're letting him air the ball out a lot, so you have a lot of confidence in him, I take it.
Well, yes. You got to give him time, though. We have good receivers. Line holds their end. We'll be fine.
So now what kind of adjustments are you going to make coming into the second half?
I think we're playing really well in defense, and we're kind of moving the ball on offense. We're throwing the ball. We've got to block a little better up front on passes, and we got to catch the ball.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach. Have a good one. All right, back to you guys.
Thanks very much, Channing. Coach Ziza talking about the fundamentals right there. If his team, doesn't turn the ball over and blocks just a little bit better, they probably have the edge right now at halftime.
Oh, I think so, and I think he probably feels that way because, like you said, they just blew that opportunity to have a lead at halftime. But sure. I think he's happy with his defense because he assumed because a lot of those guys are coming back from last season. And in fact, it's turned out that way. His defense played well. And the quarterback, to be a first-time starter, throwing the ball well, and like you said, if the receivers can catch the ball, then he'll be in good shape.
Yeah, they've also done a nice job corralling Khalil Blair, who really hasn't had any explosive plays so far in this game. Now, we mentioned there's a couple of set of twins over on Cathedral who are track stars now playing football. Well, we've watched a pair of twins over the last 4 years of the New Mission basketball team. It's been a whole lot of fun. So we're going to take a look at a story about those New Mission basketball twins right now.
And the New Mission Titans are the Division II state champions. What a run for the Titans here this season.
For almost a decade, the New Mission Titans have been one of the most dominant high school basketball programs in Massachusetts. They've captured 4 state titles in 7 seasons, using a powerful and aggressive style of play, thanks to the sheer size and strength of their players.
New Mission was at a point where we were still very new to the city. And folks didn't really necessarily, they ain't embrace that. We had a style of play that was just sort of like rough, tough. We had these big brutes in the paint.
But over the last couple of years, that sentiment for the Titans has changed, thanks in large part to the arrival of the Mitchell twins, Charles and Charlie.
When these two guys came along, they just made us more likable. Now here comes these kids who just can't stop smiling and won't shut up.
But don't let the Mitchell's infectious personalities fool you. As soon as Charles and Charlie step on the basketball court, their aura changes from basketball darlings to hardwood pests.
Here comes Charles and Charlie, so everyone knows what's going to happen. There's going to be turnovers on the other team. There's going to be a lot of noise.
We both yell a lot, talk. We love to talk, yell, run, just push the pace, cause havoc on the court. That's what we just have. It's our mentality.
Charles and Charlie's success in the court is fueled by their tireless work ethic, which they've learned from their mom, Paula.
I work nights, 6 at night till 6 in the morning. So they watch me struggle to go, and I go every day. I don't miss a day. So they see if my mother can do it and she can do it and raise us, with this struggle, we can do it too.
Paula is also the one who sparked her son's interest in the game of basketball, even though she had to sacrifice her landscaping in the process.
I had them play black basketball as little kids in the yard. And we played on that little miniature, little play thing. Last year I had to throw away the basketball hoop in the yard just so they could stop practicing tearing up my side on my wall.
But where their mother has influenced her twin sons the most is in the classroom, where the Mitchells have consistently made the honor roll.
We all both honor roll students. We've been having that since, our whole life we had honor roll. My mom got us into that mentality, go to school every day, never miss a day. Yeah, she's been on it since day one.
They have to do school. You have to go to school. Some kids don't like school, but Charles and Charlie, as they were growing up, they become to love school. I don't even have to wake my kids up. They get up every morning and go to school on their own. There's no turning over. When I come in the house, they're already gone.
Despite their shared success, there are differences between Charles and Charlie, both on and off the court.
The differences on the court is that Charles really wants to score, and Charles is going to get his points. Charles is the kind of kid that will hunt his shot down. Charlie wants to facilitate, make sure everybody's happy. He takes care of himself with a jump shot here and there.
I'm more like the quiet one. People say he's more like the excited, he's always around people. I just be to myself sometimes, and I just do my own thing. He on the other hand, he's like the talking one. He makes sure everybody's together.
But no matter how different they act or play the game that they love, it can still be difficult to distinguish between the two, especially considering they share a similar name.
My dad, actually, his name is Charles Mitchell, so he's a senior, I'm a junior, and he wanted both of us to have his name, and my mom was cool with that.
Their dad's name is Charles, so I had to name both of them after him, and I couldn't spell the same name, so I put them differently, Charles and Charlie.
When we work, I'll go in the back and he'll come out, and then the person I was helping would be like, you change clothes? Where's my sneakers? All the time, and then when I come back out, then they'd be shocked, you got a twin brother?
I would sub one out, and I didn't know which one. Go get your brother. And the brother's like, hey, you just put me in. It's not, I'm Charles, I'm Charlie.
What also makes it difficult is that Charles and Charlie are always together, creating a special bond that helps the twins when they're together on the basketball court.
We practice together, we always together, so on the court, it's like we know where we at. So like when I'm on a fast break, I'll be like, Charlie, I'm in the corner. And he'll be like, my brother's in the corner, so he'll pass it to me. When I'm with my brother, I feel like me and him, it's like we could do everything together.
The twins continue to be double trouble for opposing backcourts, and double the stress for their mom watching in the stands.
Me and my brother would fall all the time, like anything. It could be like, I'm trying to dive for the ball, she'll be in the crowd, she'd be like all the time, she would just, oh my, I just look at her, like, I just happen to look at her when I'm getting up, she'd be like.
I'm on edge of the seat when I'm watching the game. It's like, oh, please, just do what you gotta do, don't get hurt.
Entering their senior season, the Mitchell twins are the unquestioned leaders of New Mission, and will look to add more hardware to an already crowded trophy case. But even if 2017 doesn't result in another state title for the Titans, Charles and Charlie will still leave a lasting legacy that extends well beyond the New Mission basketball court.
All of my former players, they always say, hey, we were the best, until they come see Charles and Charlie play. It really just comes from their level of communication with and how they treat people. They treat people, their mom has just done a tremendous job because they treat people, they treat everybody like their best friends. And this being my last year coaching at New Mission, honestly, I was going to stop coaching at New Mission at the end of last year. And I just looked at those two guys and I was like, if I'm stepping down, I want to step down with the two highest character kids that ever walked through the doors of this program.
There you have it, the Mitchell twins from New Mission High School. A lot of fun to watch over their 4-year career for the Titans. And, the way that they impacted Corey McCarthy, I think, is the best thing you can take out of that package. And it just shows the impact they had on the school because Corey McCarthy is such an important person at that school.
Oh, definitely. And one of the things that was mentioned that's most important, they're excellent students also. I mean, they're obviously excellent athletes, love playing, just have a lot of fun, but do the work in the classroom. That's which is key.
Without question, and if you want to keep watching those guys, they're not too far as they're playing basketball at UMass Boston this upcoming season, so they're going to be a lot of fun to watch over for the Beacons there in Division III. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have the start of the third quarter. We'll probably get you some halftime stats as well right after this.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
It's a beautiful day out here, sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it, let's go.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Got a quarter?
Welcome back to White Stadium in Jamaica Plain for our Week 1 coverage of the Boston Public High School football season as the Latin Academy Dragons are hosting the Cathedral Panthers. We're tied up at 6 and just about ready to start the third quarter as Cathedral, who lost the toss, but Latin Academy deferred. The Cathedral Panthers will now be kicking off to the Latin Academy Dragons. Dragons looking to bounce back after that late interception in the second quarter.
And we
that was in the end zone.
We can expect a lot more offense this half.
Another squib kick in Latin Academy. Pat Fitzgerald fielding it at the 24. Fitzgerald.
Good head of steam on that one.
Defender, yeah.
Up to the 30, about the 38.
So about a 13-yard return for Fitzgerald.
And you see that, like I said, good head of steam on him and runs over one of the defenders. And Fitzgerald's one of those players probably is frustrated with that first half. He did have a couple of balls thrown to him, but he's coming into the season. He's expected to be one of the top receivers in the city.
Yeah, Pat's gotten a lot of time over the last 2 seasons for Latin Academy and has really developed as a weapon in the passing game. Now on first down, Ortiz hands off up the gut.
I'll tell you, more
Not
gangs
much there.
happening. Both defenses have done a real good job of getting to the ball. Haven't seen, other than that kickoff return, not many long runs. We've seen some long passes, but the front seven for both teams, the linebackers and linemen have done a good job.
Christopher Joseph with a 2-yard pickup on first down for Latin Academy. It'll be second down and 8 now for the Dragons. Dragons now in an I formation.
Yeah, something new.
Ortiz over the middle. He's got Fitzgerald again. And he did hang on to the football. He gets it past midfield up to the Cathedral 48.
Simple slant pattern, but because of the I formation, sort of threw Cathedral off, left a hole in the middle of the defense, and good job. Actually, it was a good hit by Blair, but the hands of Fitzgerald held on.
13-yard pickup was the pass from Ortiz to Fitzgerald. Ball now at the 47-yard line of Cathedral. They pitch it over the right side. Making some cuts upfield for Latin Academy and picking up a good chunk on first down.
Good individual
the Dragons
effort.
that time.
Because on the pitch, it looked like he was actually going to get stopped in the backfield, but
Osahan is a Bazua with that 6-yard carry.
Going to this I formation, more of a tight running formation, sort of making Cathedral adjust.
They pitch to Izabazua now over the left side. Nowhere to go that time. Lost some yardage on second down. So Izabazua with a good carry on first down off the pitch, but that time, second down, nowhere to go with it.
Going back to the passing formation after this play. Wynn coming back in. Saw Wynn with a couple of nice catches in the first half, number 15.
So 1 yard loss on second down, third down and 5 now for the Dragons. Looking to continue this drive. Ortiz again back to throw. He's got some pressure. We got a flag on the play as they get it over to Ryan Wynn, who's got a lane down the right sideline. Wynn gets bumped inside the 10. Late flag on Cathedral. We'll see who that initial penalty's on.
Yeah, Wynn just came back from the game for that play, and he ended up getting that screen pass and a lot of open territory. See, Wynn's taking a couple of hard shots. He's okay.
Come on, guys, hold on. After the play, we have a dead ball, personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct on number 1. That's his first unsportsmanlike of the game. Half distance first down.
That's the freshman, Smith for Cathedral.
So I thought I saw a flag
his head?
originally, but
yeah, I thought I was seing things too.
I thought I saw a flag right around that.
Wynn catches the screen, and he's got the entire sideline. Let's see what happens at the end. Blair knocks Wynn out of bounds.
Big time hit by Khalil.
Oh, he stood over him, so it's actually taunting.
They pitch over the left side to Izabazua, who's trying to find the pylon. Did he get in? He did not. He's short of the end zone.
Got knocked out.
We'll see where they mark him down, I believe, right around the...
It's got to be like inside the 1. Had the ball in the inside arm. There's Smith trying to knock him out of bounds.
He might have been around the 4.
Yeah, earlier, yeah. He tried to dive, but he was already out of bounds. You're right.
So they mark him down at the 3-yard line. So Latin Academy now with 2nd and goal from the 3. Dragons again with a great opportunity. And our first down, they try the quarterback keeper. And Ortiz well short of the end zone. I think he got it down to about the 1.
Yeah, that's one of the, I guess, disadvantages for him. Not a lot of size to really get any kind of push, but just trying to get a seam. Well, he did get it like a yard and a half.
Now on 3rd down. Couldn't quite see who had the football there, but they are short once again as Cathedral is holding their ground here.
This Cathedral's saying they think they have the football, but they don't. It's going to be a 4th down call. Officials are saying give them the fist for 4th down.
I think it was Ortiz again on the keeper. Latin Academy's previous starter, John Teen, ran with the football pretty well and used to do a lot of quarterback
bigger
keepers.
Kid. Yeah, he's tall, lean, lanky.
You know, it's funny, he talked to Coach Ziza, and he mentioned how spoiled he was over the past 7 seasons. He had Kyle Dance, who was a great player for Latin Academy at the quarterback position for 4 seasons, then had Tien come in as a sophomore and start for 3 more. So he's only had 2 quarterbacks start for him in the past 7 years. Yeah. And now Cathedral wants to take a timeout.
I'll get the defense set, and I'll make sure everyone knows their assignments, because it's a tight formation for Latin Academy, so it's not that difficult to at least set up to defend. You just have to make sure that you know what area you're responsible for. And they have some young players in there. They have the freshman cornerback Smith and a couple of other younger guys.
So Cathedral calls a timeout, their first of the 3rd quarter.
Remember, 5.5 each team.
We saw that come into play late in the 2nd quarter there with Latin Academy had a bunch in their pocket.
They used 4 in the last, 2 minutes?
To manage the clock. We'll see if with the way this game's going, one of these teams is going to need to stop the clock late in the game.
You're right. It might come down to that because it's even though they both have explosive offenses, the defenses are at this point for both teams ahead. Their defenses sort of control the game.
Folks, let's take a look at the divisions that both these teams play in. Of course, it's week 1, so when you look at the standings,
a lot of zeros.
A lot of zeros there. But the Boston North has been shuffled around a little bit. So now you got all these teams have been very successful the past probably decade. So you got Brighton, Tech Boston, Eastie, Latin Academy, who we got tonight, Madison Park, and Westie. And then for Cathedral, they play in the Catholic Central Small. You see Lowell Catholic, Marion, Matignon, St. John Paul, and St. Clement.
A lot of them playing tonight.
On first down, Ortiz again trying to score on fourth down. Did he get in? I think he's short again.
I think they pulled him back.
It looked like he got tripped up right at the line.
Looked like he was trying to dive and was actually pulled back. So that's the goal line stand for Cathedral. Yeah.
A turnover on downs for the Panthers.
That's really good play by Cathedral. See, it looked like he tried to dive, but like you said, Pat, he got hit and pushed sideways away from the goal line.
So Cathedral standing tough there on the goal line. They now have the football at their own 1 yard line, and this is you make a great goal line stand,
and it's
awesome.
Away.
But now your offense has the end zone right behind them.
Yeah, they can't make any mistakes here. Oh, they're going to a spread offense. They're putting 4 receivers out wide.
Wouldn't be surprised if Mejia took this with the spread formation. Now they motion the tight end in.
Right.
And Cathedral calls another timeout. So that's 2 timeouts that's now in the half for Cathedral. They should have 3 left.
See, you're right. See, the quarterback motioned the slot guy back in. Maybe that's not what the coaches wanted. .5:14 to go here in the third quarter, and definitely have to be careful. Is there any mishap, bad snap, or if you happen to have your knee go down in the end zone, all those things could give points to Latin Academy. All right, so they are going to stay on the opposite side. Tight end came in.
1st and 10 now for Cathedral. The handoff up the middle. We got some pads cracking there on first down.
Well, Latin Academy knows if they can force a 3 and out, they can make Cathedral punt the ball from close to their end zone. It's Hedden trying to just get some running in. Not much there, but might have got, looks like he got a yard.
So Jamal Heaton with a 1 yard gain there on second down. On first down, rather. So now 2nd and 9 for the Cathedral Panthers. And the handoff to Blair once again. Is that a safety? No, he's down at the 1.
He got out. Barely got out of the end zone. See, it's almost as if Cathedral's sort of challenging their offensive line to make some kind of room for either Heaton or Blair.
1 yard loss in the play for Khalil Blair. It's the 3rd down and 10. Boy, Latin Academy's defense has been very impressive tonight. They actually lost some pretty good defensive players to graduation.
They did, but I think for some reason maybe it's the system they run, but for some reason clearly these defensive players who are new are ahead of the offensive players who are also new. Total spread offense now, 4 receivers.
He back to throw, looking over the middle. Had his tight end almost picked off by Fitzgerald.
We talked about Fitzgerald's good hands. He had a touchdown right in front of him.
We were talking about defensive players. I was just going to say Fitzgerald's one of the
offensive players.
Ones.
It's deflected, so that's all.
It hit the number 5.
Right.
It hit the number 5.
It got deflected by the receiver. Fitzgerald actually had a line on it as it was in the air, but when it got deflected, like you said, it hit him right in the 5.
That is so tough for a defensive player because you're not really seeing the ball like a receiver.
Right.
And sometimes when it does get deflected, you just don't know which way it's going to go.
Plus, he had his eyes on the end zone. There's no doubt about that one.
So Cathedral backed up into their own end zone. He's going to have to punt from the 1. If you're Latin Academy, you got to be sending the house, I would think.
Well, they're offside, looks like. Yeah, that have to be a flag on that one.
Well, that's going to help Cathedral. That's going to push them out to the
at least the
6-yard line.
Yeah, Latin Academy really anxious on that one. Like you said, they're trying to get a block because the regular Cathedral's formation for punt is similar to the shotgun, so it's not that far anyway.
All right, so we had offset. Defense, still 4th down.
Yeah, at least 2 or 3 of the up linemen for Latin Academy. Well, now they'll have their regular, like I said, their regular drop for the punt without worrying about the end zone. Fitzgerald back in single safety, want to make up for that missed opportunity on the interception.
So Mejia again back to kick on the 4th and 6. Oh, they try for a first down. I can't believe they just did that. Wow, Cathedral tried to surprise Latin Academy and run a play on 4th and 5, backed up close to their own end zone.
And they lost yards. They were at the 6 and tried to get the ball to Blair, but he was totally surrounded.
You've got Edward, you've got Harris James, you've got a couple of defenders keying on Blair.
Oh, that was. Yeah.
I'm very surprised they went for that.
That's a really, really risky play, especially when the way it developed. I mean, the defenders were out there, so I don't know. I'm not sure if the quarterback had the option of looking at and not seeing it and kicking, but that's a gift.
So Cathedral now going to look for another goal line stand here in the 3rd quarter. They hand off up the middle to Edward. Excuse me, that was Christopher Joseph with the carry for Latin Academy.
I mean, in the open we talked about how explosive Khalil Blair is, but he's been
locked up.
Yeah, tonight the Latin Academy defense clearly is spying him every play. He's not been able to break out with any of his patented big runs. I formation.
The handoff over the left side, plowing forward and still short of the end zone.
I'll tell you, give this Cathedral defense some credit. I mean, they're being asked to. This is what the sixth play within the 5-yard line that they've stopped.
Joseph,
nice job to come up for the initial hit. Who's that? Nelson or John. So 3rd down.
Edward, the fullback, looked like he missed his block on that play. So 3rd down and goal now for Latin Academy.
Looking to throw.
Ortiz rolling to his right, looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Dragons.
Going to be a flag on the play. I think they may have a lineman in the end zone. Let's see what the flag is.
Yeah, it looks like that is coming back. Yeah. I think that is the call, Alan.
Well, no, I guess they picked it up.
I guess maybe the penalty was on Cathedral.
Because there's no indication either way. So they must have just picked it up.
So touchdown for Latin Academy. They're now on top 12-6 and going for the 2-point conversion. Ortiz, again, going to scramble, and he's just going to throw it away. So Cathedral comes up with a stop on the 2-point conversion once again, but the Dragons, again, capitalizing on the mistakes by Cathedral. They pick up their second touchdown of the game.
That was capitalizing on the really risky play. Watch the touchdown. This is the extra point, 2-point conversion try. Hernandez wrapping up the quarterback, so the score stays at 12-6. That was a head scratcher there, Pat. I'm with you on that.
Yeah,
inside the 6-yard line.
Here you see the touchdown.
Yeah, rolling, using his feet, gets away from the defensive end and is able to find his receiver wide open.
So Latin Academy with a 6-point lead here late in the third quarter. Last time they scored a touchdown, Cathedral came right back with a touchdown on the kickoff return. So you got to think that the Dragons are covering this kick right now.
Yeah, but not only that, let's remember, like you said, Khalil Blair has been under wraps the entire game. Here we are wrapping up the third quarter. He hasn't had any opportunity for any kind of free or open space. So a kickoff is one of the few chances he might get to have some open fields. Matter of fact, he's playing up. He's one of the up backs to where the ball might go around the 30-yard line.
Zelensky Laurent to kick for Latin Academy. As Smith.
Yep,
now they do the squib onside kick there.
Good job.
As it's fielded right around the 47-yard line for Cathedral.
Exactly what you want to do. Jump on the ball and just Capona. Yeah. Carmona, yeah. The defensive ends covered that.
You got to think Latin Academy was thinking about that kick return
for
there's no way when they did that.
Oh, definitely. And not only that, they weren't going to kick to Blair. And like you said, they whatever went wrong that last time, they weren't going to give it a chance to happen. You give up good field position, but it's a risky take.
Latin Academy might also be thinking with the way our defense is playing, we can give up a little bit of field position for a safety special teams play.
Okay, Blair's now the quarterback.
He gives it to Heaton on first down. And Kamal Heaton now trying to bounce to the outside and is wrapped up near the sideline.
Yeah, I think what we're going to see is a straight handoff with a follow-through fake by Blair. Heaton trying to make something out of nothing, trying to get to the corner there and did get a yard. I think we're going to see that same play with the fake to Heaton and allow Blair to try to go the opposite way.
1-yard pickup there for Heaton on first down, 2nd down and 9 for the Cathedral Panthers. It's like Heaton got hit by one of his offensive linemen, Jose De Los Santos, on that play.
And they need another player. Here he comes. Okay.
Panthers have had some problems with certain guys being on the field, not being on the field.
I do think it has to do with the formation. And then, like I said, they've changed quarterbacks. They have Blair, the quarterback. So
Damani Taverna now in the slot for the Panthers. Heaton the back in the.
Yeah, they're still confused.
Now to the shotgun.
That's the fake to Heaton, yeah.
Takes it himself over the left side. Khalil still on his feet. Khalil Blair escapes the tackle down the sideline. Blair's in for a touchdown.
It was just a matter of time, Pat. There's no way they were going to go too much longer without giving him a chance to run the football. I don't know how he got away from the tackles at the 25-yard line.
My goodness, 51-yard touchdown rush.
Now watch this. That's the fake to Heaton, like I thought. Then here he comes. Let's watch to see exactly how he got away from all this mess. The safety had him. Okay, Fitzgerald came in, but he just squared away. Only real opportunity he had to make something big happen.
So once again, after Latin Academy scores a touchdown, Cathedral answers this time with a Khalil Blair quarterback keeper.
They're going to try an extra point. I think they had 12 in the huddle, though. Yeah.
Going back 5.
Yeah, illegal substitution. They had 12 in the huddle.
Still an on-time down.
Too many men on the field once again for Cathedral. That'll back them up 5.
Okay, so now the attempt will come from the 13-yard line.
Cathedral's going to try to kick the ball.
Yeah, Blair's the holder.
And the point after is blocked. Blair picks it up. Goes to try to run it in, but he's wrapped up right around the 15.
Extra point attempt is blocked, and we are tied.
Yeah, he'd never get it up in the air. There was some pressure, but the ball just never got any elevation.
So after the Khalil Blair 51-yard touchdown run, we're back tied up, this time at 12 with 1:20 left to go in the third quarter. Latin Academy and Cathedral duking it out here in week 1.
Yeah, it's been a fun game. I mean, it's mostly defense, but the 4 touchdowns have come in different ways. I mean, 2 passes for touchdowns for Latin Academy, and then a kickoff return, then that, like you said, 51-yard scamper by Blair.
We'll see how Latin Academy answers that touchdown.
And there is, I mean, emotionally, for Cathedral, there is something to the fact that they've been able to answer so quickly. Once they go down, they're not down that long. It's a tie game.
And you mentioned, as you said before, it was just a matter of time before Blair was going to pull off a run like that. 31 touchdowns last year, and he's got number 1 now this year. On the return, Latin Academy gets it up to the 43-yard line. It looked like Jonathan Edward was the up back who brought it up to the 43. So Latin Academy again with good field position. 1:15 left to go in the third quarter.
So now it's a matter of whether the Cathedral defense has made some adjustments to defend this passing from Latin Academy, because anytime in the middle of the field, Latin Academy has no problem passing the ball. I think they got 12 guys again. This time it's Latin Academy.
So Dragons with too many men on the field. Said that about 6 times tonight.
Wow. I think it's Wynn this time. See, Wynn comes into the game in the passing formation. It goes into slot, and now he's going to come out. And he'll stay in, and somebody else is going to come out.
Channing mentioned it early in the game that both coaches were concerned about, both these teams run somewhat sophisticated offenses for high school.
Yeah.
So
in certain
these
plays,
formations,
that's exactly
kids
what it
are
is.
still kind of confused because not a lot of them have played a lot of varsity time. 1st and 15 now for Latin Academy. Handoff inside and nowhere to go with it for the Dragons. And that was Carmona again, who's just lived in the Latin Academy backfield.
Just watch it again, as you mentioned, Carmona, 32 in white, comes across. He's the right defensive end. He's had a nice game on this. He actually plays both sides of the ball, but he's had a really nice impact defensively.
.40 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Dragons now faced with a 2nd and 17 from their own 46-yard line. Ortiz going down the left side. Harris looking for the football, but pass was a little too far in front of him.
That time, decent coverage, but again, the Cathedral defender actually didn't look back. He just was lucky he was in the right position. Harris tried to run through him, so.
Tutu Ogundaye.
That's one of the twins you were talking about.
Yeah, he was there in coverage.
See, he's a free safety.
Tutu and Tito.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned that they run track, so try and use their speed.
Now on 3rd and long, we got a penalty.
Man in motion for the slot receiver on the far side took off early. So it's going to be, wow, it's going to turn into a 3rd and like 21 or something. Wow.
Ball start. Latin Academy, still 3rd down.
22.
Well, this entire series is going backwards for the Dragons.
Yeah, we saw Cathedral with a lot of penalties there in the first half. Now you're starting to see the Dragons have these penalties hurt them in the second half.
This is a key part of the game, too, because it's even on the scoreboard at 12, but this feels like Cathedral has a little more so they can jump in their step now.
Ortiz down the middle, looking for Fitzgerald, is picked off. That's Khalil Blair on the interception. Blair looking for some space, now cuts it back to the left. And Blair's brought down right around the Latin Academy 31. We got a flag on the play.
It's going to come back on an illegal block, but the important thing is, again, big play by Blair, and Cathedral gets the ball back. They're going to be walked back to about midfield.
Down to the 26-yard line.
Yeah.
In the back on the right after the interception.
There's a penalty on the play. Illegal block in the back.
So, I mean, you're going to lose, you'll lose 24 yards from the return, but you got the ball back and you're going to be at midfield. So, Cathedral will take that. There's a long pass, a little overthrown this time, and Blair right there with the good hands. The block in the back is right there. Yeah.
So that wipes out the good return from Khalil Blair, but Cathedral with the football at the 45-yard line of Latin Academy here at the end of the 3rd quarter. So Panthers now in great position to take the lead if they can put a drive together or another big play from Khalil Blair.
I mean, they'll definitely get him the ball, no doubt about that. I mean, he's going to be taking the quarterback snaps.
And they fake the handoff. It's Blair again with another nice cut. Makes his way up to the 39-yard line. And that'll do it for the 3rd quarter here at White Stadium. As we're still tied up, this time at 12 apiece, Latin Academy and Cathedral. But Cathedral is knocking on the doorstep after the turnover. We're going to head to break. When we come back, we will have the 4th quarter here on Game of the Week right after these words. Don't go away.
6-yard
Red shirt, blue shirt, yellow shirt. Oops. Yellow pants, red pants, green pants. Oops.
Welcome back to White Stadium in Jamaica Plain. We got a good matchup right now between Cathedral and Latin Academy, tied up at 12. We're just about ready to start the 3rd quarter, and down on the field is our sideline reporter, Channing Curtis, with an update. Channing?
So one of the main things that's been plaguing the offense for Latin Academy has been penalties, especially having too many men on the field. One of the reasons for that is they're having to do a lot of substitutions, given the fact that a lot of these guys are new, and this is some of them, it's their first varsity game. Back to you guys.
Thanks very much, Channing. We thought that the substitutions would be the issue that's causing all these 12,
definitely. I mean,
12 too many men on the field.
Channing's right in the middle of the sideline, guys, so she can hear when someone's out there at the wrong time, but a couple of times even the coaches can't catch it.
So Cathedral with the ball at the 39-yard line of Latin Academy. 2nd down and 4 now for the Panthers. Once again, it's Blair as the quarterback. Hands off to Heaton over the right side. Kamal Heaton slips a couple tackles down the sideline. Heaton, what a cut to the end zone. Touchdown, Cathedral.
Wow. You talk about an individual play. It looked like he was going to be trapped on the sideline.
Kamal Heaton.
We always talk about
the speed.
I'll tell you, we always talk about defenders coming in under control. That time is a perfect example of what happened. See, they didn't come under control, took the wrong angles. Heaton just walked through 2 arm tackles, and there's the speed you talk about, Pat. Because it looked like they had an angle on him there. Then the free safety, just one-on-one, he cut back, and Cathedral's first lead of the game.
Kamal Heaton with a 39-yard touchdown scamper puts Cathedral on top, 18-12 here at the start of the 4th quarter.
He's had some game. He had the kickoff return too, right? Yeah, so he showed the Jets. Trying for a 2-point conversion now.
Heaton, the lone back in the backfield. Blair now going to take it over the right side, trying to plow his way in, and he does for the 2-pointer. First 2-point conversion converted in this game, and it comes with 9:46 left to go in the 4th quarter.
That may be
8-point
very
lead for
important
Cathedral.
because the first 4 scores, like you said, they used to the fake to Heaton, and then Blair gets hit at the 3, but he knows how to pile himself in, get some help from one of his linemen. Randy Williams, the senior, was able to give him a little push right near the goal line. Well, you're right, that speed from Heaton. Once he hit that, it's like a relay race.
Yeah, he took the baton and
he hit that corner.
Started blazing down the field.
It really looked like that 2 players for Latin Academy had an angle to knock him out of bounds, but he just ran right by him. Well, it all started with the interception by Blair and ended up with that big run by Heaton. I mean, from Latin Academy's side, their passing offense has been effective. They may have to be a little more patient, not try to get it all back at once, because we have seen a few of the long passes go a little overthrown.
Cathedral with the 39-yard touchdown run. We'll see how Latin Academy responds. Squib kick here for Cathedral. It's brought back by Laurent, who makes his way up to the 49-yard line.
And give him some credit because he was having a hard time picking the ball up.
I'm sorry, that was
Buza. Yeah. Yeah, he watched this bubbling. He's still, as he's getting hit, he got it up and had a quick 12, almost 15-yard return.
Izabazua with the return to the 49-yard line.
Well, it was an important play for him not to allow the ball to get behind him, and then for him to tack on a return helps the offense a lot. Back to that I formation for the Dragons.
Pitch it over the right side. And Edward with nowhere to go.
Yeah, that developed a little slowly.
I'm sorry, that's Christopher English.
That was English, right.
With not even a small crease of open space.
Yeah, see, once the pitch was out there, see, they're running away from Carmona, but it didn't matter because they still had the penetration to force him. Actually, no gain. Let's see, Rocco Ziza. They got to call a timeout. I think they got 12
another
again.
12-man on the field penalty.
Penalty on Latin
And actually, it's only a matter of who's supposed to be in the slot, because it's always one of the slot guys who's the 12th man. So depending on the play, the slot's either to the right or the left. That particular time, the time before, they had slot guys on both sides. That's the extra man.
Yeah, because other than that, there doesn't seem to be a lot of personnel changes.
That's all. That's all it is. It's just how they line up in the slots. They have I formation right now.
2nd down and 15. Ortiz winds up down the right side of the field, looking for Fitzgerald, and the Dragon faithful is looking for a flag on some contact.
It was sort of incidental contact, but I tell you that for a first-time quarterback, he's going to put it in the air, give Fitzgerald a chance to run under it. Does a good job adjusting, but the defender has just as much right to it, so Blair did a good job to lean him off of that play. Shield him. They're going to get a first down, though.
3rd down and 15 now for Latin Academy from their own 44. Over the left side, they try that wide receiver screen with Devin Harris James, and he's brought down at the 44-yard line of Cathedral.
I'll tell you, that's the first time that inside screen has worked for Latin Academy. They're actually in 4th-down territory. Throwing well.
I think after that play, they definitely are.
Good time. That'll be a 4th and 4? Yeah, the way they run, the way they pass the ball, they can go for this.
4th and 3 now for Latin Academy after that 11-yard, make that 12-yard pickup.
Now they've rolled out. Quarterback rolls out pretty well for the option, but look for Fitzgerald. He's going to be a tight end, so he might just curl over the middle.
And Rocco Aziza didn't like what he saw. He calls a timeout.
Yeah,
it was 7:48 left to go in the 4th.
Yeah, player in the wrong position. See, what they did, Fitzgerald, his last couple of years, he was a tight end combination split end. On that 4th and short, they put him in as a tight end to the right. He was probably just going to curl right over the middle.
During this timeout, folks, if you want to check us out on social media, you can search for Game of the Week here in Boston in Facebook. A lot of good stuff on our Facebook page. Make sure you like us there. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. 4th and 3 now for Latin Academy. We're going to keep this drive going here midway through the 4th quarter. That's Azum's in motion, and they're going to call another timeout.
Well, they had a blitz. A quarterback saw a blitz coming, so he knew. I guess he figured that the curl wasn't going to work for the tight end, because what they did, the wide receiver went in motion to give Fitzgerald this entire side here. It's sort of becoming like a chess match here, because the defensive formations are matching whatever the Dragons are doing on offense. And now they're back to a regular formation.
I formation now for Latin Academy. Ortiz again back to throw. Over the middle for Fitzgerald. Pass broken up by Cathedral.
He was triple covered.
And they will take over on downs.
Actually had good blocking on the play. You watch as he goes back. He has good protection, but he's trying to get to his main guy. But he had all Latin Academy, Cathedral all over him.
Actually, looked like there was 2 receivers for Latin Academy close to each other there.
With
Devin Harris James and Fitzgerald.
The third defender over. You're right.
I wonder if one of those players didn't quite run the right pattern.
There's been confusion all night. I mean, it's just the Dragons have had their success when there's been a sort of a one-on-one situation. He found Win a couple of times. He found Fitzpatrick. Now the defense has to stand.
First and 10 for Cathedral with an 8-point lead, 7:42 left to go here in the 4th.
And that's movement on the tackle. It's going to be 5 yards against Cathedral. I mean, he reset. It looked like they were going to let it go, but then the So like a delayed flag. It's like,
We have motions by the line, number 78.
yeah, so
Still first down.
Yeah, 1st and 15 now.
Big left tackle, Victor Williams-Barros, the sophomore, with the early motion.
Yeah, I was thinking, I mean, the change in quarterback happened after Latin Academy scored their second touchdown. I can't imagine that the quarterback threw that 4th down pass on his own. But I mean, I think it was going to be eventual that Blair would just have his hand on the ball in every play.
They give it to Heaton up the middle on
Nice
the
run.
read. Heaton
Nice
still
run.
on his feet, breaking tackles past midfield up to the 48 for Kamal Heaton.
Victor Williams-Barros, the big tackle. Watch Heaton. Watch the replay first. Nice cut, get away from the linebacker, but then he's scooting into the secondary. There's Barrows. Maybe Victor is Heaton's best friend because he's sure made up for that penalty. That's right. I mean, it's 2nd and 2 now. and you have a defense for Latin Academy who's trying to play the run.
So Cathedral now with a 2nd and 2 from the Latin Academy 48. Split backs for Khalil Blair. And once again, he gives it to Heaton, who's trying to find the edge. He does. Kamal Heaton then dragged out of bounds. But a nice pickup there on 2nd down. Well past the 40-yard line.
I think it's DeVerna, left of the screen, number 14. Yeah, 14 had the nice block, DeVerna, to let him get to the edge. The Cathedral's doing just what they want. 1st downs, killing clock. Both teams with 3 timeouts left.
A 14-yard pickup there for Kamal Heaton. So 1st down and 10 now for the 34 for the Panthers.
More running.
This time Blair going to keep it himself, and he's going to be wrapped up in the backfield.
It's gonna be tough for him to get anything from the quarterback spot because like I said, they have a spy on him the whole game. Fakes the handoff to Heaton, and there's just nothing there. I think it's Udo Kapora. I think he's the one who's spying Blair.
Yeah, Chibuzo Udakpora has had a nice night in the backfield and has made a lot of tackles, like you mentioned, both on Blair and then sacked the quarterback Mejia in the first half a couple of times. 2nd down and 12 now for Cathedral. Blair going over the right side with the pass to the end zone for the Cathedral touchdown. That's the tight end, Xavier Hernandez, with the TD reception.
Well, again, like I said, they're in a run defense, so they didn't expect Blair to be throwing the ball, but a wide open receiver, and Hernandez able to open the score up to a 26-12 lead. That was Blair's first pass.
As we mentioned, Khalil played quarterback in middle school for Timilty.
Well,
you see him showing off his arm there.
I was going to say, it's familiar to him. That's not uncomfortable at all.
So now Mejia's back in at the quarterback position. Try for the 2-point conversion.
Going back to the conventional offense, and they're going to take another timeout.
I think what Coach Sobolowski is looking at right now is if Cathedral's going to have a very successful season like they did last year, you got to have Mejia as your quarterback and Blair as your scat back slot receiver. So now that they have a 2-touchdown lead with 5 minutes
they get
left,
back to a conventional offense. You're right.
Yeah, they have Mejia back in there to try to get some more reps.
Yeah. plus it allows them to move Blair around to try to find him some open field.
You certainly know he excels when he gets the ball in open field. So Cathedral trying to tack on the 2-point conversion. Now with a 14-point lead and just over 5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. They hand off to Blair. Khalil trying to scamper his way through the line, and he is in for the 2-pointer. So Khalil Blair with his second 2-point conversion of the night. And Cathedral now leads by 16, 28-12. Oh yeah, he was definitely. He looked like he was down.
Yeah. The problem is that the lineman on that side, I think, was blocked out by a couple of defenders.
Yeah, our guys in the truck
it looked like his knee was down. Yeah.
4:54 left to go here in the fourth quarter.
A lot of work for the Dragons to do. They got to get some type of big return on this kickoff.
The Latin Academy needs a spark right now.
Yeah, I mean, the game changed when Blair had that 51-yard scamper. After that, Heaton then had the 39-yarder, and now this pass and catch.
So Fitzgerald and Edward back to receive, and once again a squib kick from Cathedral, and it's once again Izabazua on the return, makes his way up to the 46-yard line. So
he's giving a good effort every time. You see him it's straight ahead. You'd love that. And kickoff returns, you don't have a wide open space, just go straight. Looks like Smith is going to be limping off for Cathedral. Well, he couldn't get his cleat back on. No, he's okay.
Latin Academy with a bunch formation at the bottom of your screen. Yep. Single receiver at the top. Now on first down, they throw it to Fitzgerald on the wide receiver screen, and Cathedral sniffed that one out.
Yeah, it's similar to what we were saying earlier about how Latin Academy was spying on Blair. There's Blair on Fitzgerald. I mean, they're going to watch him. They know he's the sort of the big play receiver for Latin Academy. So wherever he goes, they're going to have some people over there.
After no gain on first down, second down and 10 now for the Dragons. Ortiz, dangerous pass, and it was picked off.
No, it's not.
It did hit the
catch
turf.
it. Yeah.
Sam Pondexter, the sophomore, once again
trying for a screen pass, and I think we're seeing some inexperience with the quarterback for.
I think the lineman, the defensive lineman,
it looked like it might be tipped, but again, he was thrown into double coverage.
So Latin Academy, after two unsuccessful passes on first and second down, now faced with a third down and 10 from their own 46-yard line. 4:08 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Over the middle, they do have Wynn, and Ryan Wynn with the reception now in Cathedral territory at the 48-yard line. Make that the 47.
You see Wynn, he's actually had a decent game. He had a couple of nice catches.
7-yard pickup there on third down, so now it'll be fourth and a long three.
Fourth and three. Gotta go for it.
Make that 4th and 3.
Blair on Fitzgerald, one-on-one.
Ortiz running for his life.
Good
and
defense.
The pass is broken up by Mejia.
I'd say a good play by Mejia. He was actually playing more of a linebacker in that position, but he watched the quarterback and made the play. Right side of your screen, once the ball's thrown, you'll see Mejia come in and knock it away. Yeah, good job.
So Mejia will now take over as a quarterback for Cathedral here with 3:23 left to go. And right now the Panthers just have to pick up a couple first downs, grind the clock out. Hand off to Heaton. He tries to find the edge, but he's wrapped up by Latin Academy. Coming up for the stop for the Dragons.
Chris Kalajian in there. You know, if you're on the Dragon sideline, watch 31 in black, left side of your screen. He'll come up and do a good job making that tackle. But if you let, Dragons, I know some of the guys on the sideline are thinking about that missed opportunity right before halftime when they could have taken the lead. Instead, it ended up being 6-6, then 12-12, and then ever since that, we've had 16 straight points for the Cathedral.
Handoff on second down. And it's Heaton once again with the carry.
Yeah, Heaton's had a big game. Good runner, under control. Latin Academy using their timeouts to try to get the ball back. A couple of sprinkles. It was supposed to rain, was it?
With the way the weather's been the past month here in America, anything is possible.
Oh, this is, we've had a beautiful night. It's been for a first game of the season. It's been, field's in great shape. Perfect for the players.
Yeah, they really did a nice job getting this field ready. Wayne Cummings, the caretaker here at White Stadium.
Because the field goes through a lot. I mean, they had the summer camp here, so it's not as if there's any real off season.
Yeah, this field's going to look a lot different when we're back here on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. It'll actually just take one rainy game.
That's right.
To have that middle portion really eaten up.
And they play soccer here as well.
Third down and 7, play resumed.
So 3rd down and 7 now for Cathedral. And Latin Academy has to get a stop here if they have any chance.
You really have to give Cathedral a lot of credit. In the third quarter, they took the game over after that interception by Blair and then the run by Blair to give them their first lead. Once they get their first lead, they just never look back. Both sides of the ball played well.
Third down and 7 now for Cathedral. And Mejia is going to keep it himself. Latin Academy.
He paid for that one. he could have handed it off. Maybe he should have, because 3 of the Dragons. Watch what happens. He gets hit 1, 2, 3.
Latin Academy calls a timeout here with 2:14 left to go. So they only have 1 timeout remaining.
Yeah, they want to give Ortiz a few chances to throw it downfield. But it just shows you, the game was even. 6-6, 12-12, and then a turnover helped to change everything. We talked earlier about the conferences, and Cathedral does play in that Catholic small conference, but they finish it. They do fill their schedule with a couple of Boston games. So
that's right.
It's nice that we were able to get to do this one.
Yeah, last year Cathedral actually played Tech Boston on Thanksgiving. Of course, being in the South End, they're so close to all the Boston teams, and a lot of these kids have played together.
Sure, yeah.
Basketball, football, BNBL, Pop Warner. John Smith, actually, Coach Sobolewski was mentioning, has sort of a claim to fame as being a very good Pop Warner player here in the city. We don't cover a lot of Pop Warner games, but he mentioned that he had a heck of a Pop Warner career, I guess you could say.
Well, you can see as a freshman, you can see he definitely has some potential.
Yeah, he's going to be fun to watch for Cathedral in the next 3 or 4 years. Offsides on Latin Academy.
That was interesting. I think Cathedral purposely used that timeout to tell them they're going to have a delayed snap count and draw Cathedral off.
I'm so surprised Cathedral.
They'll make it a 4th and really very short, yeah.
I'm so surprised that they're going for it on 4th and long with this 2-touchdown lead.
Well, I think on that play they just want to draw the offside,
remains
which they
down.
did. It's still it's 4th down and 3.
Now it's a little bit,
bit
easier,
much more makeable, yeah.
Much more manageable 4th and 2 now for Cathedral.
Because remember, the quarterback's still the punter. So if they hadn't drawn him off, he still could have taken the snap and punched it. But he got Heaton Heaton next to him. Actually, they're going in. Blair's going to come back. Heaton's going to go in the slot.
It is Mejia who's going to take it himself. He's wrapped up.
Yeah, I think he's short.
He's short of the first down. It's now Latin Academy with the turnover on downs. Clock is stopped. They get the football back with just over 2 minutes left in the 4th.
Let's air it out. Again, you see the quarterback trying to good job to come off a block, make that tackle. So the bunch formation this time has both Wynn and Fitzpatrick on the same side. Now Cathedral had the wrong formation. They try to bring another player in and didn't get there in time. Cathedral called a timeout.
So now both Cathedral and Latin Academy each have one remaining. So we'll see what the Dragons can come up with here. 2:04 left to go. They got to score in a hurry and then
get the ball back
somehow.
Somehow, right, yeah. Well, the squib kicks in high school oftentimes are the like onside kicks, so that's not out of the question. It's just that, when you're coming back, the first score is always the toughest because you got to get that one for anything to even have a chance.
Yeah, a lot of times teams look
they always look
ahead and try to think about, what are we going to do for the second touchdown, rather than just scoring first. Both these teams coming into the season after being playoff teams from a year ago.
Right.
And as they both have lost some good starters to graduation, they've had other players come up, and I think both these teams are going to have some pretty good records at the end of the season.
I think you're right, because they clearly have shown that they have they defend well, and that's a great start.
Now on first down, Ortiz trying to go to the sideline to Fitzgerald. Or Wynn, rather.
Wynn, yeah.
Looking for Ryan Wynn.
Yeah, Fitzgerald for the most part has been just going downfield. Wynn is trying to, like a square out pattern. I think it's good for Ortiz to get his first varsity I'm taking over game under his belt.
It's his football team now. Now it's second down, Ortiz looking for some room. Throws across his body. It's picked off by Blair. Khalil fumbles the ball. But Cathedral's going to take over at the Latin Academy 47.
Yeah, Blair just read the quarterback's eyes on this one. There's a little bit of an escape, but as you try to throw it, like you said, across his body, it takes the velocity off the ball. Blair, as we know, a really good, versatile athlete, making the interception.
So minute 49 left to go here in the fourth after the turnover from Latin Academy. Khalil Blair picking off Xavier Ortiz. And Cathedral now just has to ice this away for their first win of the season.
Well, good job for them. Midway the third quarter to the end. And we try obviously the 16 points, a big deal, but let's not forget their defense did a very good job keeping Latin Academy off the scoreboard once Cathedral took the lead.
And Mejia just going to down it. And Latin Academy can call one more timeout, but
they're going to let it go. So, I mean, as far as first games, over the years, we've seen much sloppier games.
Oh, without question. We've seen much sloppier games midway through the season.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's key, like you said, that both teams were in the playoffs last year, and that makes a difference. Now, some of the seniors, like I noticed the Latin Academy just have a lot of seniors, but your point is well taken that a number of these seniors last year didn't play a lot.
That's right.
They didn't play, like, a lot of meaningful minutes. So now that they're being sort of thrust into the regular situation. It might take a few games. I mean, they'll be upset with this loss, obviously, the Latin Academy kids. They're going to practice harder. They're going to attention to detail, like you said, the numerous 12 men on the field. That's more of a studying mental type of mistake. But I do think thinking about the city and the fact that all the teams in the city obviously lost seniors last year. It's one of those situations where it's just a matter of which team is going to sort of round into shape earlier than any others. And that should do it.
And that will do it for this week one matchup at White Stadium. The Cathedral Panthers take down the Latin Academy Dragons 28-12. And this was a really close game and tied up for most of it, heading into late in the third quarter, and then in the fourth quarter, Cathedral really took over. I think when you see your star player, who sort of hasn't done a lot throughout most of the game, finally break that big touchdown.
Everybody,
little pep in the step of the Panthers after that.
And you got to remember, he made two back-to-back plays. He made the interception to set up the touchdown.
Right.
Then a 51-yard jaunt on an amazing run. He looked like he was balled up at the 20-yard line. Somehow slid out and just sprinted to the end zone. And you're right. He's expected. Khalil's expected to have a really big season. His teammates expect him to score whenever they're down or make a difference. Even if it's a close game or a tie game, coaches and Cathedral players all expect him to make a play. And tonight he did. He made a couple of plays. And then the heading, as you mentioned, I mean, the speed, he was overly impressive. He had a touchdown run on the kickoff. He had the 39-yard touchdown run in the fourth quarter. So that sort of 1-2 punch out of the backfield for Cathedral can be deadly for the season.
Without question, they're going to be fun to watch as the season rolls on. We kind of knew those guys had a lot of talent, a lot of speed coming in, and they showed it here today. Meanwhile, for Latin Academy, you got to be pretty impressed with Xavier Ortiz. He did throw a couple of picks, but he seems a lot more comfortable than he should for a guy who's never started a quarterback for a varsity team.
First time, and he took some lumps, but he did have some nice passes. In the first half, actually, his receivers didn't always help him out by catching the balls, but you can tell he's confident and he listens to the coaches, and I think that he'll learn from this game. A couple of passes that he sort of tried to force, like the interception near the end of the half. And put a little touch on that, and then Wynn has a chance to really pull it in pretty easily. But he really zipped it in there and bounced off Wynn's shoulder pad for the interception.
That was a big play.
Oh, yeah, because think about it. If Latin Academy goes into half either 12-6 or 14-6, then...
And they're getting the ball to start the third.
Right. So that makes a big difference. But that's how football goes, and I think Cathedral did a good job. Whatever they adjusted on their defense made a difference because they really did start to pressure Ortiz. And even when they didn't pressure him, they covered his receivers very well. So he was forced to really, sort of force some passes.
Yeah, Latin Academy is going to drop to 0-1. Cathedral to 1-0. And certainly both these teams have a lot to work on, but could probably also be proud of a lot of the things they did on the football field here in week 1 here tonight. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have our Game of the Week MVP and final stats from this game. Make sure you stick around.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
We can warn someone when their drink isn't safe.
And disrupt the situation.
We can.
Get someone the cab.
Or walk them home safely.
We can make campuses safer for our friends.
Our roommates.
Our classmates. Our fellow human beings.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can. Intervene.
It's on us.
All of us.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts? Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool. Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself? What are you gonna make of me?
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. We're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
With the groove, show move, keep it smooth as I bust the move. And yo, step it swiftly with me, keep up. If not, just stop, pop a squat, put your feet up, read up, pay attention, listen to the melody. Remember what you heard, got my words to the spell of me. Top notch, got them all jumping like hopscotch, or jumping rope like double dutch in the air. Show me what you got, keep it hot like the heater. You thinking you a treat, cause you're sweet, but I'm sweeter. Leader of the pack, cause they all stay behind me. I'm old school, you don't skip tracks, you rewind me. Find me, working on my craft.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent. We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Got a quarter?
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish.
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Green. red hat. Oops. Red shirt, blue shirt, yellow shirt. Oops. Yellow pants, red pants, green pants. Oops.
Welcome back to White Stadium in Jamaica Plain. At the conclusion of Game of the Week, the Cathedral Panthers took down the Latin Academy Dragons 28-12 here in Week 1 of the Boston Public High School football season. Cathedral had a couple of guys who really turned it on there in the second half, but as we mentioned before, Alan, once Khalil Blair ripped off that 51-yard touchdown, that's when
everything changed.
That's when the tide
everything
turned for
changed.
the Panthers.
You're right. And then he took over the quarterback offensively for the Panthers. He had the interception near the end, so yeah, we're used to it from a young age, right?
That's right.
But, again, outstanding player. Right?
Yeah, Khalil is down on the field with our sideline reporter, Channing Curtis. Channing, take it away.
All right, so I'm joined here now on the field by tonight's MVP, Khalil Blair. Now, you had an outstanding game. You had 2 interceptions, but the thing that impressed me the most was that 51-yard touchdown of yours. So what goes through your mind during a play like that?
Honestly, I just trust my teammates, let them block for me, and then I just follow them. If it wasn't for them, I don't know where I would be going. I would have never scored that one.
Now, speaking of your teammates, I know that your coach told me that you guys have a lot of new players on your team. So what do you tell your younger players to keep them motivated during a game like this?
Like, when in the beginning, it was kind of, like, tough. But they was all putting their head down because we kept on making mistakes. But we have leaders on the team, not just me, but, like, Jose, Kamal, and Randy. They push them to be better players, just like me. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't. We're all a brotherhood. So it's like they listen to us because we're older. So it's like it's kind of tough because they don't listen sometimes. But once you get that power run, then that's when they start listening.
And now I understand this was the first game of your senior season, your last season here in high school. So what are some of your personal goals for this year?
Honestly, to just win the championship.
All right. Sounds like a good goal to me. Congratulations again on a great game tonight.
Thank you.
All right. Now, Coach, once again, Khalil Blair, outstanding play tonight. And we talked a little bit before the game about your sophisticated offense. How heavy are you going to rely on him for the remainder of the season?
Khalil's a multifaceted player. He's going to play some quarterback, some running back, some slot receiver. Latin Academy did a good job taking him away when we had him out at receiver. They were double teaming him. And we just felt like let's make that change in the second half and put him at quarterback and let the offense run through him. He's so experienced. Last year we had a game where our quarterback got hurt and Khalil went in and had 6 touchdowns from the quarterback position. So we knew that he has the experience there. We just had to give him the ball, let the play go through him basically.
Now, I noticed that change that you made in the second half, which you said putting him in at quarterback. In the first half, it was a pretty close game. Then all of a sudden you made that change. The game spreads wide open. Do you think that'll be something that you stick with going forward?
You could see right from the get-go that Latin Academy was going to take him out of the game if he was at receiver. So for us, our offense has to go through him. So where he plays will be dictated on how the defenses try to stop him. And if teams are going to consistently do that, then he's going to go to quarterback, and we'll put Anthony somewhere else because he's a good player.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach. And once again, great game tonight.
Thank you very much.
Back to you guys.
Thanks very much, Channing. I like what Khalil said, where he mentioned some of the younger guys, they listen sometimes, they don't listen sometimes. But as we said before, once he ripped off that 51-yard game, he turned to the young guys and said, see, if you do what we tell you to do, good things happen, and that's what happened.
And for the first time, we heard the crowd on the other side of the field. I mean, they have cheerleaders who make noise during the game, but the entire student section and all the parents, we really heard a big roar after that touchdown. So you're right, and it was clear when they had the couple of Bots defensive plays in the passes when Latin Academy scored their first touchdown on the pass. That's when some of the younger players, as Khalil mentioned, probably put their heads down. And
sure,
at that point, you're not really listening because you're angry at yourself or your teammate who was supposed to help you out, and that's part of being young. But looking at the roster, Cathedral has a number of seniors, and I think enough seniors who are in the skill positions that they can take the lead in any situation. Similar to Latin Academy, even though Latin Academy had a tough time in the second half tonight, they too have a lot of seniors they can lean on as the season goes on, because when they get into their city schedule, I mean, it's got to be tough. So they're going to have to play hard and play together, or these city teams can do a job on you.
Without question. Going back to Khalil Blair, I mean, we mentioned before the kind of year he had to be the Division IV State Player of the Year. 31 total touchdowns, well over 2,000 all-purpose yards. Now he's coming back as a senior. It's got to be so hard to live up to those expectations. Yeah, you see him here tonight. He still had a great game, but I don't know if he's necessarily going to put up the numbers he did last year just because of what kind of player everybody knows he is.
Oh, it's definitely going to be hard. Just like the coach mentioned, that one game they put him at quarterback, he scored 6 touchdowns. And that's why I was saying about the conference that they're in. Usually there are a couple of top teams up the top, a little bit of a middle, then there are a couple of weaker teams. Those weaker teams are when you really build your stats up. So you're right. He may not have exactly what he had last year, or even close to it, but he's still the key player there, because the entire first half, Latin Academy did a really good job double teaming him. He got no opportunities for any kind of big runs. Second half, just like the coach said, as they run their offense through him by putting him at quarterback, then just one simple fake handoff and go the opposite direction. That's how he got the 51-yard touchdown.
That's right. Meanwhile, on the other side, for Latin Academy, obviously a loss you don't want to have, especially to start off the season. It's to a non-division opponent.
Right.
So I think this is going to be a good learning experience for the Dragons. I think it's good that they had a game like this to start off the season, because you got to think the quarterback's got some confidence despite throwing those 2 picks.
I think so. And the other thing is that they're probably not going to play against many players close to as good as Blair. Or Heaton, for that matter, because you look at
that's a
both
dynamic
of them.
duo,
right? So this was a good way to prepare for some of the top backs in the city. All right, so I think Coach Ziza can look at this a couple of different ways, and from his standpoint, more than anything else, he just wants his young players who are being thrust into starting positions to start to feel more comfortable and play his system, because he's been around enough to know that his system works. He just has to have the players in the right positions.
It's going to be fun to watch this Latin Academy team develop throughout the season with a lot of new guys in new places. Let's take a look at the final stats from this ball game before we sign off from Week 1 here at White Stadium. And first up, it's Latin Academy.
Yeah, Latin Academy is Edwards. Is a Boozy up there, and not much running at all, but they did do a good job passing the ball. As you see, receiving. Wynn was in the slot most of the night, 5 catches for 83 yards. He had a touchdown. Fitzpatrick, also 5 catches, only 41 yards, no surprise. Every time they went deep downfield to him, it was pretty much knocked away, but he also had a touchdown. And Ortiz, like you mentioned, he'll get comfortable. 11 for 26, 152 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, but being young and the fact that he's having his first start and everyone's looking at him and what do we do? What's the play?
Right.
That's important. But I think he's going to get better as the season goes on.
Most definitely. Let's take a look at Cathedral's final stats.
Oh, yeah, as we talked about, Heaton, 91 yards on 10 carries, had the touchdown. He also had the kickoff return touchdown. Okay, Blair, 70 yards on 8 carries, and only 8 carries. When you think about that, it just shows you how he was able to impact the game and everything else he does. He also had a touchdown. Hernandez caught 1 pass for that. That was a 36-yarder that Blair threw to him for the touchdown. And then, of course, Blair just caught 1 screen pass but was thrown for a loss. Khalil, the only pass that he completed was for that 1 touchdown. And then Mejia, 2 for 5. Didn't do much because most of his passes were short passes. They were trying those wide receiver screens.
Latin Academy was
getting thrown for losses, right? And again, those are the adjustments you have to make during the course of a game. Even though it's the first game of the season, there's a whole lot going on. Kids are excited and forgetting things, but Cathedral just did a better job of adjusting to the defense that Latin Academy was playing, and then their own defense, Cathedrals, did a better job in the second half because they really bottled up Latin Academy.
Without question, Cathedral's, both these teams' defenses actually had some really nice nights. It was Cathedral ripping off some big plays towards the end, but I think these defenses can now carry into the second week some pride that they created here in week number 1. Folks, I want to thank you for joining us here in week number 1 of the BPS high school football season. If you want to watch this game again, you can certainly go to our website, www.cityofboston.gov/game of the week. You can also check us out on social media and go to our Facebook page, search for Game of the Week here in Boston. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. Week 1. Down in the books, at least here at White Stadium. We got a lot of weeks to go here in the BPS high school football season. Make sure you tune in on Game of the Week to check out all the teams here in the city. It's going to be a lot of fun here in the fall of 2017. But right now, we're going to say so long from White Stadium. Have a good night, everybody.